Write it down. Verses 1 to 8 of Canto 2, chapter 5. Verses 1 to 8. Narad Muni inquires from Lord Brahma. Narad Muni, he inquires from Lord Brahma. Verses 1 to 8. Okay. Verses 9 to 31. Lord Brahma glorifies the Supreme Lord and describes the creation. 9 to 31. Lord Brahma glorifies the Supreme Lord and describes the creation. Wrote. Now verses 32 to 42. Lord enters each universe and each body. Okay. So this chapter. So now we'll start with verse number 1. Okay. So all of you wrote it down? Yes?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, bro. Anyone can answer? How many of you wrote it down? You
We
wrote
just set up the system, Roji. Just we are settling down now.
Okay, okay. I'll again repeat. Verses 1 to 8. Narad Muni inquires from Lord Brahma. Verses 1 to 8. Verse 9 to 31. Brahmaji glorifies the Supreme Lord and describes the creation. And 32 to 42. Lord enters each universe and each body. Okay. Okay. Now verse 1 to 8. Narad Muni inquires from Lord Brahma. Okay. So we'll do this. Is it clear? Okay. Naradovacha Devadeva namastuste bhuta bhavana purvaja tad vijanehi yadgyanam atma tattva nidarshanam. So can somebody read the translation? Anybody?
Oh, translation. Sri Narad Muni asked Brahmaji, O chief amongst the demigods, O firstborn living entity, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Please tell me the transcendental knowledge which specifically directs one to the truth of the individual soul and the super soul.
Yes. So Narad is saying, Naraduvacha, Narad Muni said, Deva Deva namastutu, namastestu. So Deva Deva, oh, best among the demigods, you are the first demigod. Deva Deva namastutu, namastestu. Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja. What do you mean by Bhuta Bhavana? So Bhuta Bhavana means among you are Bhuta Bhavana means you among the Bhuta, among the living entities, you are the first living entity. Or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Bhuta Bhavana also means that he who creates the body of living entity. Therefore, Bhuta Bhavana. That's Purvaja. Means you are the firstborn. He is born from, okay, Purvaja means Brahmaji is the firstborn. So born before who? Before the sages like Marichi, okay, others, okay. Like these are the brothers of Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is saying, Deva Deva, chief among the gods, or gods of gods, Bhuta Bhavana Purvaja. You are the creator of the body of living entity. Okay. And he's saying that you are the firstborn, Purvaja. Firstborn before Marichi and other sages. Tat Vijanihi. I want to know. Tad means about the absolute. Tat Vijanihi Yat Jnanam. I want to know about that absolute. I want to know the knowledge of that. So what knowledge? By that knowledge, you can understand Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. So here Atma Tattva means Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, I want to know the soul as well as the super soul. So what Atma, when it has capital A, it is used for the super soul. When it has small a, it is for the soul. So it is both. So Narad Muni, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Narad Muni wanted to know everything about soul and super soul. So knowledge of the soul always leads to knowledge of super soul. Okay. So Shri Swami says that Here it will be described in this chapter that Lord's Leela with creation or Lord's Leela with Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti, which type of Maya Shakti? Like time, karma, okay, that we'll find here. How Lord deals with time and karma of living entities to create this universe. Okay, so we'll see what Prabhupada says here. Okay, somebody read the first three lines of this, which talks about Prabhupada says, from where this knowledge is received. So this knowledge of creation should be received in parampara.
The
Okay.
perfection of the parampara system or the path of disciplic succession is further confirmed. In the previous chapter, it has been established that Brahmaji, the firstborn living entity, received knowledge directly from the Supreme Lord, and the same knowledge was imparted to Narada, the next disciple.
Right. So generally it is asked, this knowledge is received in parampara or disciplic succession. Apart, if you take the knowledge of creation away from disciplic succession, then you will find that knowledge is not so authentic. Okay. So Narad Muni here Prabhupada is saying, it is further Prabhupada right. This knowledge, it is not for the money. Knowledge received by service. Okay. See, knowledge received by submissive inquiries and service is more effective than knowledge received in exchange for money. So knowledge, when you say knowledge, so knowledge goes through three stages according to Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Shravanam means one you hear or read, and then Mananam means you contemplate. It's not like you read immediately and immediately you understand, you're enlightened, and the light is coming from all the nine holes. This is not the way. Knowledge, when you receive, it should be received or heard, so it should be contemplated from various angles. And then you see Nididhyasanam, how it can be seen. When you contemplate from various angles, so which angle you can able to apply in your life, that is called Nididhyasanam. So knowledge goes to three stages: Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Okay, so this knowledge is not in the exchange of money because I am giving you fees, so I am getting knowledge. No, knowledge is received by serving that person. Okay, not by money exchange. So then Prabhupada writes in the last, a bona fide student has to satisfy him by service, sincere service to obtain the knowledge of relation or nature of individual soul and super soul. So previously in the Gurukul, people used to do seva to the teacher, and then if he is pleased, then he is to give knowledge. Like for example, there is His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he wanted to make I heard this, I don't know authenticity, but I heard from devotees that he wanted to make a Sun Papadi, like exactly like it is in Govardhan. So he sent some of his disciples to so they learned within 2 months, and they came and they tried to make it, did not came. Then some other disciple, two or three, they said we'll go. So they 3 months they went there to that person's shop and they served him. They washed vessels and they didn't said anything. So they just served him. And after this 3 months passed, then that person was so happy. Then he taught them heartily. When he taught them, when they came back, they made exactly the Son Papdi which they get in Govardhan. So this I heard. So whole point is to say, then this knowledge is not received through, just by question answers and all. It's received by service. So what knowledge one wants to receive? Prabhupada writes the knowledge of Atma and Paramatma. Okay. Why the knowledge of Atma and Paramatma? Why? Because knowledge of Atma, see, nature of individual soul and super soul. So nature of soul and super soul leads to three topics. Like super soul is there and soul is there. And when soul wants to go away from the Lord, then the matter comes in picture. Third. So one is super soul, one is soul, and then the third is matter. Now these three will be expanded into 5. So which will be 5 topics of Upanishad. Okay. Now super soul 1, soul and matter. Then the process to know, that is the 4th. And after knowing the goal, so that is the 5. So this comes 5 topics of Upanishad. So what are these topics? First one, super soul, we can say the nature of the Supreme Lord. Second, soul and its connection to the Brahman. Third, matter and its connection to Brahman. Fourth, the sadhana process. And the fifth, Jiva's position in Mukti. So these are the 5 topics of Upanishads. From 2, it becomes 3 and then it becomes 5. Okay, clear now? Now this 5 will expand into 10. That will be Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. What is that 5? What is that 10? So 5, like we have nature of Brahman or the super soul, whatever. So that will change it into, it will have 3 aspects. Nature of Brahman will have 3 aspects. Krishna is the absolute truth. He is the source of all Shakti and he is the source of all Rasa. So 3 aspects of the Lord. Then Jiva, soul, it will have 3 aspects. Jiva, 1 is liberated, 1 is conditioned, and 1 is servant of Krishna. So 3 plus 3, 6. Matter, and the 7th one, Achinta Bheda Bhed. Matter is simultaneously one and different from the Lord. That is 7th. 8. Okay, what is the process to know that? Is sadhana bhakti. 9. After knowing what is the goal, is prema bhakti. And the 10th, where all these things are given, it is given in Vedas. Amnaya praha tattvam. Amnaya means Veda. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur, 10 points, Dashamud. So this is our Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is our structure of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. So basically this starts from soul as well as super soul. So it builds up on this. Like, once one proper disciple was there. So some Jaimini scholar, Jaimini Karma Mimamsa. Jaimini is a propounder of Karma Mimamsa. So his scholar had come. So he met that proper disciple. Then he asked him, what's your skeleton? So then he told the skeleton. Then he put this like our body is based on skeleton. So what will be the skeleton of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy? So these 10 points are the skeleton of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. If you are clear with these 10 points, you will be clear with all Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophies. Okay, clear now? So next, now next question from verses 2 to 8. Narad, from verses 2 through 8. Sorry, 2 through 8. Narad Muni will ask the questions. Okay. So next question to Narad Muni, verse 2. Narad Muni asks a further question. Okay. Yad rupam yad adhishthanam yatha shishtam idam prabho yat samstam yat param yatcha tat tatvam vada tatvatah. Read the translation.
My dear father, please describe factually the symptoms of this manifest world. What is its background? How is it created? How is it conserved? And under whose control is all these beings done?
So Narad Muni asking, my dear father, please describe the symptoms of manifest world. What is that? Yad Rupam. Okay. So this is answered in, you can write down the answer also. This is answered in verses 13 to 14 in this chapter. 5.13 to 14 in this chapter. This is answered. What is the symptoms of this manifest world? Yad Rupam. What Yad Adhishthanam? What is its background? That is Yad Adhishthanam. Means this is answered in verses 15 and 16 of this chapter. And 31st verse of the 6th chapter. Okay. Then how is it created? That is Yatha Shishtam. Answered in this chapter, verse 21 to 35. Its creation. How this universe is created. This is answered in 21 to 35 of this chapter. And how is it conserved? Yat samstham. How is it conserved means answered in verse number 39. Okay. Of chapter 6. Canto 2, chapter 6, verse 39. How is it conserved? That is answered. And Yat Param. Yat Param means what? Under whose control is all being done? Okay, who is the controller? So this is answers in text 15 of chapter 5 and text 32 of chapter 6. Okay. And Yatcha Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what is it composed of? It is not given in proper translation, but Yat Cha means what it is composed of. Answered in chapter 6, verse 1 to 18. What is this is composed of? This whole universe. Chapter 6, verse 1 to 18 and 23 to 30. Okay. So I'll show you the PPT. Just okay. These are the Narad Muni's question. So Brahmaji getting appeared and Narad Muni is asking question. Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. What is soul and super soul? Truth of soul and super soul. So then we discussed how the soul and super soul goes into 10 section. Yad Rupam, symptoms of manifest world. Yad Adhishtanam, what is its background? Yatha system, how is it created? Okay. And Yatha Samstam, how is it conserved? And Yat Param, what it depends upon. Yat Cha, what is it composed of? So this is the questions. Now Brahmaji is going to answer these questions. Okay. Is it clear now, bro? Okay, so you go back.
Yes.
Okay, so we go to our purport of Srila Prabhupada. So what Prabhupada is saying in this paragraph? Prabhupada is saying that, okay, see this, the inquiries made by Narad Muni on the basis of factual cause and effect appear very reasonable. So atheists put forth many self-made theories without any touch of cause and effect. So there are many theories of creation by the scientists. They say creation came from Big Bang, primordial soup, right? Or creation came by chance. But these are all speculative theories because the scientists have their defective senses. So Prabhupada writes, no, the manifest world as well as spirit soul is still unexplained by the godless atheist through the medium of experimental knowledge. Although they have put forward many theories manufactured by their fertile brains. So these are all their speculation. But now we're going to study the real creation coming from the Supreme Lord himself. He himself is explaining through the liberated soul, who is a Brahman, who's at the position of Brahman platform. Okay, Sukdev Goswami is narrating it to Parikshit Maharaj, the incident. Now, what is the connection between this chapter and previous chapter? Who will say this? Can somebody guess what is the connection with this chapter? Yes? Can somebody? No? I have done no previous chapter? No? Any
So-
connection? Yes? Yes, please.
Sukhdev Goswami is answering the questions now of the Parikshit Maharaj.
So what is the connection? Yes, that is everyone sees. Like Sukdev Goswami is answering the Parikshit Maharaj. Then why then he is explaining the Narada and Brahma Sambad?
Wanted to know about the creation. He asked then some same question was asked. The question he asked.
Exactly.
Parikshit.
The Parikshit asked the same question. So Sukdev Goswami was saying, Are, this same question was asked by Narada to Brahmaji, and I am going to explain the same conversation to you. That question. Okay? Is it clear now? So Narada's first question was what? Okay. So this connection is in chapter 4, verse 25, I think so. So where he's saying, what you are asking is not new. Long ago, Narada also asked the same question. Okay. So this question of the same. So Narada Muni asked this question. No? Please describe the factual symptoms of manifest universe. All this, yat system, yatha system, yat samstam. So the similar type of question is asked in previous chapter. Which was, anybody remember? Similar type, not exactly same, but similar type. Can somebody? Okay, don't think. Okay, it's in verse number 6, previous chapter. Lord is asking, no? Who's? Parikshit Maharaj is asking, I want to know about the personal energies of the Lord, similar type. So text number 6 it is. Okay? Clear now? Okay. So now in the purport, Prabhupada is writing, see this. Transcendental knowledge means what? See this. That's why I made it into this. Transcendental knowledge regarding soul and the super soul includes the knowledge of the world and the basis of its creation. It includes in it. Okay? Because it's a part of it. So when you know these three built up into 10. So when you know this 10 structure of our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Okay? So the Prabhupada writes there. In the phenomenal world, three things are factually observed by an intelligent man: the living beings, the manifest world, and the ultimate control over them. Okay? So similarly, so these things, anybody wants to know what is this matter. That's why scientists are studying matter. Some people, spiritual persons study the soul, but the devotees, they study all this three. Okay? So everyone has to, different philosophies also come in relation to matter, in relation to soul, in relation to matter, phenomenalism, all such kind of philosophies comes. Okay? In relation to soul, different philosophy comes. So my point would say everything is based on this thing. Matter, spirit, and control. Okay? So what do you find in this 5th chapter? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained what are you going to find? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that in this 5th chapter, you'll find the creation, how it happens. How the creation happens. How the creation of universal form happens with all the planets and the limbs. So come the creation of the universes and the universal form. Okay, you'll find this in this. Okay, so we go text 3 to 6. Now, text 3 to 6, let us talk about convictions of Narad about Brahma. What Narada had a conviction about Brahma, 3 to 6. Okay. So we'll go to text number 3. Okay, if you have any question, anybody? No? Or I'll take questions later. What do you think? You want question after every verse I'll ask, or do you want to just I'll keep 15 minutes?
So the 10 points of Gaudiya Vaishnava, once can you repeat like it?
10 points. Okay, so you have folio. In the folio, there is a book called Dashamul. So there you find the verse. If somebody asks you what is Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, you just quote this verse. Amnaya prahatatvam harimya paramam sarva shaktim rasabdim. Like, you have folio, na bro? So it's in a folio, Bhakti Thakur, Dashamulya Tattva.
Okay, this one.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So do text 3. सर्वं हि एतद् भावन् वेद भूत भव्य भवत् प्रभो करामलकवद् यद् करामलकवद् विश्वं विज्ञानावसितं तव. Read the translation.
My dear father, all this is known to you scientifically because whatever was created in the past, whatever will be created in the future, or whatever is being created at present, as well as everything within the universe, is within your grip, just like a walnut.
Yes, so what is saying? Sarvam he etad bhavan veda. Bhavan means we say na. Bhavan bhishmascha karmascha. Oh, great one. Sarvam. You know everything. Sarvam etad bhavan. Oh, great one. You bhavan veda. Okay. You know everything. Bhavan, your good self. You know everything. Bhuta bhavya. What do you know? Bhuta bhavya bhavat prabhu. Bhuta bhavya means bhuta. All that is created. All the living entity is created. Bhavya and all is and all that will be created also. That also you know. Okay. Bhuta bhavya bhavat prabhu. Okay. All that is being created. Oh, my master. So he's like Prabhu means master. And how do you know? You know Kara Amalaka. Like you have a walnut in your Yad Vishwam. So whole universe is like a walnut in your grip. You know like this. So kindly please explain me this, or I want to know it. Okay. So you know everything. You know means Bhuta. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur again says, you know Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat. Okay. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat also means Vishwanath Thakur saying that though Brahma, Narada Muni is expressing of Brahma, you know the past, present, and future, everything. One meaning. Okay. As well as second meaning, he gives that you know the three things: Jivatma, Paramatma, and the material universe. So this is the meaning. You know the three things. Bhuta, what is that? Bhuta, Bhavya, Bhavat, Prabhu. You know all these three things. So, because you're the master of all the living entities, and everything in this universe is like a amalaki fruit in your hand. So kindly please, I want to know all these things. Okay. So can somebody read the purport? Very small purport.
Brahma is the direct creator of the manifested universe and everything within the universe. He therefore knows what happened in the past, what will happen in the future, and what is happening at present. Three principal items, namely the living being, the phenomenal world, and the controller, are all in continuous action, past, present, and future. And the direct manager is supposed to know everything of such actions and reactions, as one knows about a walnut within the grip of one's palm. The direct manufacturer of a particular thing is supposed to know how he learned the art of manufacturing, where he got the ingredients, how he set it up, and how the products in the manufacturing process are being turned out. Because Brahma is the firstborn living being, naturally he is supposed to know everything about creative functions.
Okay. Got this? Clear? So Brahma will come to know as everything within the walnut, like his grip. So how everything is in his grip. So we're going to see in the time of creation how Brahma comes to know. Okay. Brahma identifies with the subtle aspect of the universe and gross aspect of the universe. So therefore, sometimes it is said the universe is 7 spans of Brahma. You understand span? SPAN. इसको गिनते हैं ना, इसको span. In Hindi, in the rough Hindi, it is called atti, or we call it spans. 1, 2. This is called span. So this Brahma universe is Brahma's 7 spans. Brahma's body is 7 spans. So our body is also 7 span. Okay, from the ankle, you put this to the ankle, and from the ankle to the knee, it will be 2. Do it. Do it while sitting in the chair. And from the knee to the thighs, it will be 2. And from the thighs to the torso, it will be 2. 2, 2, 2, 6. And this will be 7. It's there now? Yes, no? But soul is inside. So soul is pervaded throughout the body. But soul is situated in the heart, no? His consciousness is pervaded. So similarly, Brahma is situated in the universe. He identifies, like how souls identifies with the body, Brahma also identifies with the universe. So this you will learn further. How he identifies. In what way? Just keep it. Just I made you understood this. Okay? Is it clear? Yes or no? Array, what happened?
Yes, Mari.
Everyone is sleeping?
No,
Huh?
no. Mike was away. So we have
No problem. After breakfast, we feel sleepy.
no, 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 bro.
Or sometimes, anyway. So we'll go next verse. So 3 to 6, Narada's conviction about Brahma. Okay. So what Narada's conviction, verse 4, Narada thinks that Brahma is the supreme. So that text 4. Yat Vigyano yat adharo yat parastam yad atmakah eka srijasi bhutani bhuter evatma mayaya. Okay, read the translation.
My dear, my dear father, what is the source of your knowledge? Under whose protection are you standing? And under whom you are working? What is your real position? Do you alone create all the entity with the material elements by your personal energy?
So the point is what he's saying that in this, that who is behind you. So this is a similar type of question. Now Narad Muni asked first question in that second verse. Now this is a Narad Muni's second question. The same question is asked by Parikshit Maharaj in verse number 7, previous chapter. Okay, similar type, not exactly same, but similar type. Okay, verse number 7. Okay, so inquiry about the involvement. So what is saying in this? Yat vijano yat adharo means what is your source of your knowledge? Yat adharo, under whose protection you are working. Okay, so now because in second verse Narada Muni spoke about what is this universe is created, how it is composed. And now in this verse, he says, okay, let it be universe. Please explain to me about yourself. Okay, what yad vijanaha, what is the source of your knowledge? Okay, and who's your shelter? What is your adhar? Yad adhara. Okay, and whom you are dependent? Yat paraha. Is there someone? Okay, you depend. Okay, you are the supreme. Under whose protection? Under whom you are working? Is there someone? Okay, and what is your real position? What is the real position means? Yat paraha and ekaha. So Jiva Goswami explains that Narad Muni wants that please about to know about Brahmaji. He is asking Brahmaji to explain about himself. Okay. So Prabhupada purport very small. Read, can somebody read?
It was known to Sri Narad Muni that Lord Brahma attained creative energy by undergoing severe austerity. As such, he could understand that there was someone else superior to Brahmaji who invested Brahma with the power of creation. Therefore, he asked all the above questions. Discoveries of progressive scientific achievement are therefore not independent. The scientist has to attain the knowledge of things already existing by means of the wonderful brain made by someone else. A scientist can work with the help of such an awarded brain, but it is not possible for the scientist to create his own or a similar brain. Therefore, no one is independent in the matter of any creation, nor in such creation automatic.
Yes. That means there is someone. Even scientists may say there is a black hole, or there is a some a point of singularity, but how, or there is a big bang, but who made the big bang? Okay. And then how these holes are there, but holes are coming from something, there is some background should be there. So generally, so here Narad Muni is saying that I want to know, because Narad Muni had an idea, because Brahma did a tapasya, but still is asking, who are you, the supreme, or there is someone else? Okay.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes.
प्रभु जी, इसमें ये मतलब जो ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ रहे हैं, इसमें यह का मतलब मीनिंग आ रहा है कि ब्रह्मा इज सुप्रीम और यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट. जो भी क्वेश्चन, इट इज लाइक व्हाट इज योर सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज, अंडर हुज प्रोटेक्शन आर यू, अंडर हुम आर यू वर्किंग. तो उसमें वो मीनिंग का आ रहा है कि इज ब्रह्मा इंडिपेंडेंट. वो तो डिपेंडेंट वाला मीनिंग ही आ रहे हैं सारे ट्रांसलेशन में.
हाँ हाँ, आगे आता है वर्ष में कि नारद मुनि बोलते हैं कि आई कंसिडर यू एज ए सुप्रीम.
ओके.
वर्सेस में आएगा. सो देन ब्रह्मा एक्सप्लेन द डिफरेंस बिटवीन हिम एंड द लॉर्ड. ही सेड पीपल अंडर माया थिंक्स मी टू बी सुप्रीम. So therefore, in that context, I said, what is going on in Narad Muni's mind? Okay, but therefore, you see, Narad Muni was knowing. So this is the conviction about Narad Muni. 3 to 6. The Narad Muni is saying that you are the supreme, you are the superior. But then Narad Muni says, but still I have a doubt that you did tapasya. So means there is someone superior to you. It will come further. Okay. Okay, na bro?
यस प्रभु जी. ओके.
Now text 5. So Narad Muni is saying that you create by your own. You create by your own matter like spider creates. Text 5. You create the creation like a spider. Okay. Atman bhavya setani na para bhavayan swayam atmashaktim avashtabhya urnanabhiti vaklamaha. Read the translation.
As the spider very easily creates the network of its cobweb and manifests its power of creation without being defeated by others, so also you yourself, by employment of your self-sufficient energy, create without any other's help.
Yes. So Narad Muni is asking that as spider very easily creates a network of cobweb, manifests his power of creation. Spider means Purna Nabhi. Okay. Without being defeated by others. So also yourself, employment of your self-sufficient energy, you create. Like the spiders, from the spider's body, the web comes. So Narad Muni is asking you create similar like spider, and then you, again the spider winds up the web inside. So then Vishwanath Sridhar Swami is saying that Narad Muni is trying to ask that do you merge all the jivas within yourself? So if you do this, while doing this, you don't feel fatigue. Okay, just like a spider, you don't feel. So Narad Muni wanted to know how you are creating this thing. So is this like just like a spider? So generally Prabhupada gives the spider example in some third canto also. If you put on folio, so Prabhupada wanted to say like some people may say, no, if you go outside and tell that universes comes from the Mahavishnu's body and goes inside the body. Some people may say, oh, it's a very fantasy. But we can, Prabhupada says, we can give them the example of a spider. The spider has the ability who can create the web and then again wind up the web inside his body. So if the creation, one of the living entity within the creation has this quality, so why not the Supreme Lord was creating this spider? So he also had that quality that everything comes inside his comes from his body, maintains by him, and goes inside his body. Okay. Then Jiva Goswami gives another example for this, another explanation for this. Means, what is the verse here? The verse here is that Atma Bhavyase Tani. Atman Bhavyase Tani means what? You protect. Atman means you protect all the living beings in yourself without being destroyed. Like how spider gets the web inside. Atma Bhavyase Tani na parabhavyam swayam. So na parabhavyam means you are not destroyed. You are taking this inside. Since you have great powers, okay? Atma Shaktim. We have great powers, avashtabhyam, like a spider. So this is the another meaning. So Prabhupada writes, can somebody read the purport?
The best example of self-sufficiency is the sun. The sun does not require to be illuminated by any other body. Rather, it is the sun which helps all other illuminating agents. For in the presence of the sun, no other illuminating agent becomes prominent. Narad compared the position of Brahma to the self-sufficiency of the spider, who creates his own field of activities without any other's help by employment of its own energetic creation of saliva.
Right. Okay. So the next verse, Narad Muni was saying that there is no other source for creation than you. You give the names and everything. Okay. Naham veda param heyasmin na param na samam vibho namarupa gunair bhavyam sat asat kinchit anyatah. Read the translation.
Whatever we can understand by the nomenclature, characteristics, and features of a particular thing, superior, inferior, or equal, eternal or temporary, is not created from any source other than that of your Lordship, thou so great.
Yeah, so Narad Muni is saying this like this. So Vishwanath Chaitanya Thakur says that whatever you see, the nomenclature is characteristic of the name, quality, superior, inferior. Within this world, like names such as human forms, two-legged animals, all these nomenclatures, eternal, temporary, or gross or subtle. So Narad Muni is saying, Vishwanath Chaitanya Thakur says that Narad Muni says, I do not know anything from where it is coming. I think it is coming from you only. So why Narad Muni is saying like this? So Narad Muni already know everything. But why Narad Muni is saying like this? You do know this? Narad Muni is saying like this because Jiva Goswami says that Narad Muni wanting to make from this verse and next verse, Narad Muni speaking that he wanted that Brahma should speak from his mouth about the entity, about another entity, okay, who's the cause, like the Supreme Lord. So Narad Muni purposefully speaking like this so that Brahmaji could speak about that Supreme Lord or about another entity who is the cause of everything. Okay. So this is Prabhupada writes. Can somebody read the purport?
The manifested world is full of varieties of created beings in 8,400,000 species of life. And some of them are superior and inferior to others. In human society, the human being is considered to be the superior living being And amongst the human beings, there are also different varieties, good, bad, equal, etc. But Narad Muni took for granted that none of them has any source of generation besides his father, Brahmaji. Therefore, he wanted to know all about them from Lord Brahma.
Now you understood? So now you are asking, from where I got this. I just explaining from this word. Narad Muni wanting, okay? He is explaining, oh, you are the supreme. Then later, now from verse 7, Narad Muni has a doubt about Brahma. Now he thought that everything is coming from Brahma. Brahma is might be. He's just asking that, oh, you are the supreme, or there's someone. But now Narad Muni's doubt is confirmed in text number 7. Narad Muni is saying that why do you perform tapasya then? If you are the supreme, I had a doubt, then you perform tapasya. But you are performing tapasya means there is someone superior to you. So that doubt comes. So verse number 7, doubts about Narad Muni. Okay. Sabhavan acharat ghoram yattapa sushamaahita tene khadyesi nastvam parashankam cha yachasi.
Yet we are moved to wonder about the existence of someone more powerful than you. When we think of your great austerities in perfect discipline, although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation.
Yes. Sabhavan acharat ghoram. Ghoram means severe. Acharat, you took severe, undertook. Acharat means you undertook. Sabhavan, for the great self, you undertook. What you took, undertook? Yat tapa sushamahita. Yat tapa means this austerities. You undertook this so many severe austerities. Brahma did severe austerities. How? Sushamahita, in a discipline. Tena khadyasi. Therefore, giving pain. Khadyasi means pain. Okay. So this tena khadyasi is giving pain. So nastvam parashankam cha yachasi. So parashankham means, so we have a doubt. If there is something, we have a doubt. Parashankam. Shankam means doubt. Para means we have a doubt that there is something superior to you. Cha yachasi means that we wanted to know who is that. Okay. So the same question like Narad Muni is asking to Parikshit Maharaj, similar question, Narad Muni is asking to Brahmaji. Similar question was asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukdev Goswami in previous chapter, verse number 9. Okay. The similar type. You can write it down, verse number 9. So Sridhar Swami explained in his commentary that Narad Muni is saying that in spite of you being the creator of the creation, Prabhupada, right now Brahmaji is the original creator of creation, right? In spite of you being the creator, you have done so much severe austerity. Because of that, Narad Muni is saying, I have a doubt if there is someone bigger than you. Okay, so to please him, you are undergoing austerities. Otherwise, what is the use of doing austerity? If you are the supreme, you cannot do austerities. Okay, so this is the doubt. So Narad Muni already knowing, but he's asking for the people like us. So Prabhupada writes here. Can somebody read from here?
Following in the footsteps of Sri Narad Muni, one should not blindly accept his spiritual master as God himself. A spiritual master is duly respected on a par with God, but a spiritual master claiming to be God himself should at once be rejected. Narad Muni accepted Brahma as a supreme due to Lord Brahma's wonderful acts in creation. But doubts arose in him when he saw that Lord Brahma also worshipped some superior authority. The supreme is supreme, and he has no worshipable superior.
Yeah, so understood. The doubt arose in him. So therefore, he was asking the question in this text. So it was all from here. So doubts arose in him when he saw that Lord Brahma also worshipped the supreme authority. Okay. Then Prabhupada talks about in his purport about that Mayavadi Angra Upasana, they worship realization themselves as God. Okay. So now in text 8. So in text 8, what? Text 8 is, so Narad Muni is asking, please clarify. So Narad Muni asking for clarification. Etanme prichita sarvam sarvagya sakaleshwara vijanihi yathe vedam aham buddhe anushashitah. Read.
My dear father, you know everything and you are the controller of all. Therefore, may all that I have inquired from you be kindly instructed to me so that I may be able to understand it as your student.
Yes. Etan me prichita sarvam. Prichita means I asked whatever inquiry I have done about everything. Sarvagya Sakaleshwara. Because Sarvagya, you know everything. You are the Ishvara, controller of all. Sakaleshwara. Sakal means everyone. You are Ishvara of everyone. Vijanihi yathe Vedam. So I want to know. Kindly please explain. Vijanihi, explain. All these things. Yathe idam. Aham buddhi anushashita. I want to do my intelligence and myself buddhaya anushashita. I want to buddhaya means understand just by learning from you, or anushashita from following you. I want to learn from you. Okay. So here we can see this is the Prabhupada's perfect. Read, inquiries made by.
The inquiries made by Narad Muni are very important for everyone concerned, and as such, Narada requested Brahmaji to deem them suitable so that all others who may come in the line of disciplic succession of Brahma Sampradaya, may also know them properly without any difficulty.
Right. Okay. So now Brahmaji is going to answer the explaining about who is he, what's the difference between him and the Supreme Lord. Or in sense, what is the difference between Jiva and the Supreme Lord? So verse 9 to 13, from 9, 10, 11, 9 to 13, Brahmaji clarifies Narada's doubt and destroys this false conviction and establishing the nature of Lord and himself, or this difference between Lord and the living entity. Okay, 9 to 13. Or nature of Lord and himself. Okay, so text number 9. So Brahmaji is asking, text number 9. Brahma uvacha samyak karunikasya vatsate vichikshitam yat aham chodita soumya bhagavad virya darshane. Read.
Lord Brahma said, my dear boy Narad, being merciful to all, including me, you have asked all these questions and thus inspire me to see into the prowess of Almighty Personality of Godhead.
Yes. So Brahma said, samyak karunikasya, you are so kind to me. Why is saying you are kind? Because Brahma was, Vishnu Thakur says, Brahma was overjoyed. Then he said, therefore you are kind. Karuna Kasya, oh Vatsa. Vatsa means, oh my dear son. He's using this. Why? Because your vichiktisam, your doubt is very proper. And you have completely, you are very kind to me by asking the questions, because Vishnu Thakur says, it gives me, you are very karuni kasya, means you are very merciful to your father. Why? Since, because you are asking this question, it gives me opportunity it gives me inspiration. Okay, aham chodita, about inspiration to speak about what? Bhagavad Virya Darshan. Inspired to speak about Bhagavad Virya. Virya means energies or powers. To speak about Lord's power of creating the universe. Okay, Darshane. As matter of it is visible to me. So therefore, I want to explain. You are giving opportunity to speak about the Lord. That is very much important. So Shivda Swami says in this commentary to this verse that the question that Brahmaji was very inspired to speak about Lord's power of creation. Okay. So Prabhupada writes about speaking and hearing, very much important, and asking questions. Read the purport.
Brahmaji, so questioned by Naradaji, congratulated him, finding it usual for the devotee to become very enthusiastic whenever they are questioned concerning the Almighty Personality of Godhead. That is the sign of a pure devotee of Lord. Such discourses on the transcendental activity of Lord purify the atmosphere in which such discussions are held, and the devotee thus becomes enlivened when answers such questions. It is purifying both for the questioner or for one who answered the questions. The pure devotee are not satisfied only by knowing everything about the Lord, they are also eager to broadcast the information to others. For they want to see that the glory of Lord are known to everyone. Thus the devotee feels satisfied when such an opportunity is offered to him. This is the basic principle of masonry activities.
Yeah. So somebody asks a question, he is also purified. Somebody is answering, he is also purified.
Yes.
For purification. So it's very important to have a nice. So therefore, we sing the prayers. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Like there's a prayer Om Sahana Bhavatu. Let there be peace between teacher and the students. And Shanti 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 3 times. Why? Who in Shanti in Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So let there be peace, and the discussion and the learning should be very healthy. So both should be purified when we talk about the Lord. Okay. So then text 10, Brahmaji is saying that your question is very proper because people don't know that there is someone they consider me as supreme. They are not aware about the supreme Lord. Oh, sorry. Yes. Nanritam tavatacchapi yathamam prabhavishibho avigya parammata etavatvam yatohi me. Read the translation.
Whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by the observing my powerful activities.
So you are saying that whatever you said, Brahmaji is saying it is not false. It is true. That why Eka Sijjasi Bhutani, that I alone create the living being. This is not false. Yes, people. Because why people think that I am the main creator and I alone create everything. Because they don't understand the difference between me. Me means the Brahmaji is saying about himself, between me and the Lord. Okay. Lord means Param. They don't distinguish between Param Mataha. Mata means me and Param matlab Supreme Lord. So people think that I am the Supreme Lord. Means Brahmaji is the Supreme Lord. Okay. So then Brahmaji is Vishnu Chari Thakur saying that what Brahma is saying that though Narad Muni knows, he is already all knowing. So he knows that who is the Supreme. Just to educate, in order to educate the ordinary people. So Brahmaji is asking this question and giving opportunity, and Brahmaji is going to explain the difference between the Lord and the living entity. Okay. And therefore Brahma could not think that Narad Muni was ignorant. Narad Muni is not ignorant, already was knowing. Prabhupada writes in the purport, I'll show you. This. Prabhupada right here. Can somebody read from here?
Naradji is one of the liberated soul, and after his liberation, he was known as Narad. Otherwise, before his liberation, he was simply a son of a maid servant. The questions may be asked why Naradji was not aware of the Supreme Lord and why he is conceived Brahmaji to be the Supreme Lord. Although factually he was not, a liberated soul is never bewildered by such a mistaken idea. So, why did Naradji ask all these questions just like a ordinary man with a poor fund of knowledge? There was such bewilderment in Arjun also. Although he is eternally the associate of Lord, such bewilderment in Arjun or in Narad take place by the will of Lord, so that others, non-liberated person may realize the real truth and knowledge of the Lord. The doubt arising in the mind of Narad and or about Brahmaji becoming all powerful is a lesson for the frogs in the well, that they may not be bewildered in the misconceiving the identity of personality of Godhead, even by the comparison to a personality of like Brahmaji. So what to speak of ordinary men who falsely pose themselves as God or an incarnation of God? The Supreme Lord is
Okay,
always.
got this. Okay, got this. So Narad is asking already because he is asking for to educate in the people coming. In future, people are going to come. Okay. The next text, so then Brahmaji is saying that I create only after Lord does the creation. So Brahmaji is like an engineer. Okay. Yena svoricha sa vishvam rochitam rochayamyaham yatharko agnir yatha somo yatharkshagrah tarakaha. Read translation.
I create after the Lord's creation by his personal effulgence known as the Brahma Jyoti. Just as when the sun manifests its fire, the moon, the firmament, the in- planets, and the twinkling stars also manifest their brightness.
Yeah, so that, like, who's saying Brahmaji is answering, what is it, Narad Muni, that I create after Lord created everything from his personal effulgence.
Hare Krishna.
In the study creation, I'm not going to teach creation itself as 12 session. I'm going to teach creation in relation to the verses which is going to come. And the creation from in this chapter starts from verse number 21. Okay. So as sun gives its lights firmament, light to the moon firmament, so similarly, Supreme Lord already created the universe, and I create when the Supreme Lord gives me the blueprint. It is said in Bhagavatam that Garbhodaksha Vishnu gives the blueprint of the universe to Brahmaji. So Brahmaji taking the blueprint, he engineers the universe. Like if you give an engineer a blueprint of a building, so based on the blueprint, he will create the whole universe. Okay. So now Sridhar Swami explained that a question, he presents like a question that who is the Ishvara here? Okay. So who is the Ishwar? The Ishwar, Brahmaji is saying the Ishwar is the Supreme Lord. Okay. So now Brahma offers his obeisances to the Lord in further verses, which is explained in this further 3 shlokas. Okay. So then, and how by Paramatma's effulgence, Sridhar Swami says, by the effulgence coming from the body of Mahavishnu, the whole creation is manifested. And Brahmaji is saying, I create after the Lord create the universe. Okay. See, Prabhupada writes, see, Lord Brahma said to Narada, people are enough impression. Okay, read here till here.
Lord Brahmaji said to Narad that his impression that Brahma was not the supreme authority in the creation was correct. Sometimes less intelligent men have the foolish impression that Brahma is the cause of all causes. But Narad wanted to clear the matter by the statements of Brahmaji, the supreme authority in the universe.
Okay, so means what? So then as a decision, Prabhupada says, the final judgment of Brahmaji is the supreme authority. Okay. It's a supreme authority. Okay. So Brahmaji as a supreme authority is giving that Brahmaji is not a creator. There is someone other than him. He creates the universe. Okay. So Brahmaji says, in this verse, Brahmaji clears up the wrong impression held by the less intelligent, affirms that he creates the universal variegatedness after material potencies are created by the effulgence of Lord Shri Krishna. Okay. So Brahmaji creates after Mahavishnu is created the whole universe. Okay. And what Brahmaji's role is, it is mentioned here. And further, you see, Brahmaji's role is this. Can somebody read from here? It is very interesting. Read from here to here.
So the Brahm Jyoti is not independent or self-sufficient. Lord Shri Krishna is ultimately the creator of the Brahm Jyoti, mentioned in this verse as Swarup Rochisha, or the effulgence of the transcendental body of the Lord. This Brahm Jyoti is all pervading, and all creation is made possible by its potent power. Therefore, the Vedic hymns declare that everything that exists is being sustained by the Brahmajyoti. Sarvam khalam idam Brahma. Therefore, the potent seed of all creation is Brahmajyoti. And the same Brahmajyoti, unlimited and unfathomed, is established by the Lord.
Yes. Okay. So everything is created within Brahma Jyoti. Now everything is sustained by Brahma Jyoti. You may wonder how. Like in sun rays, everything is sustained. How many of you agree with this? Sun rays is nourishing. In sun rays, there are vitamin B12. In sun rays, there are so many things. Whole creation, all the seasons and all the rain, all the ice, everything is formed by the sun rays according to Vedic cosmology. Okay. So if sun rays, material rays are so much thing, so much qualities and so much energies. So what to speak about Lord's effulgence? So Lord's effulgence, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Chaitanya Shikshamrit that Brahma Jyoti's qualities and energies of Krishna. But for the Brahmavadi or Mayavadi one, or for the impersonalists, it may be qualityless, nirvishesh, okay, only Sat feature. But for the devotees, the same Brahma Jyoti is qualities and energies of Krishna manifesting here in the material world. Okay. For the Jnanis, Brahma Jyoti is eternal, but for the devotees, the Brahma Jyoti is intermediate. Intermediate means, like there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, no, 14.26. Mam cha vibicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunam samitaitan brahma bhoyaya kalpate. By practicing bhakti, one comes to the level of Brahman. So what is that level of Brahman? Brahman level of means spiritual level. So during that level, at the Brahman level, the devotee sees the universe as qualities and energies of the Lord. Like a mother sees her son's small shoes, a baby's small shoes and clothes. So that clothes and shoes, she may not have affection, but that shoes and clothes may become an uddipan, an impetus for her to remember the child. Her affection for the child grows. So similarly, this creation is qualities and energies of Krishna, and by seeing the creation, we can remember Krishna. So how Brahma Jyoti, everything is existing in Brahma Jyoti. I would love to show you another verse from Bhagavad Gita 4.23. Okay. You have read no Bhagavad Gita? So 4.23. I'll show you the verse. 23 or 24, I think. 24. 24. Can somebody read this? Very important. Read this here. The word Brahman means spiritual.
The word Brahman means spiritual. The Lord is spiritual, and the rays of his transcendental body are called Brahmjyoti, his spiritual effulgence. Everything that exists is situated in that Brahmjyoti. But when the Jyoti is covered by illusion, Maya, or sense gratification, it is called material. This material veil can be removed at once by Krishna consciousness. Thus, the offering for the sake of Krishna consciousness, the consuming agent of such an offering or contribution, the process of consumption, the contributor, and the result are all combined together, Brahman or the absolute truth. The absolute truth covered by Maya is called matter. Matter dovetailed for the cause of the absolute truth regains its spiritual quality. Krishna consciousness is the process of converting the illusory consciousness into Brahman or the Supreme.
So how is that? Here is the verse, no? That everything that is exists is situated in that Brahma Jyoti. Means situated in the Brahma Jyoti, everything. So means everything is qualities and energy. Okay. When the Jyoti is covered by illusion or sense gratification, means for example, you take a chair. The chair or take a table. The table has some qualities, smoothness and all. Okay. And the table itself, so qualities and the table itself is an energy. So energy is manifesting that quality. Okay. So these qualities and energies are there because it is coming from Brahma Jyoti. But when we see that table for our use, then it is sense gratification. So when we see that table in relation to Krishna, then the same table becomes qualities and energies of Krishna. Because it is coming, is his. Like Bhagavad Gita 7.4, Krishna says, earth, water, fire, air, ether are my separated energies. So Prabhupada writes that earth, water, fire, air, ether, we make it as material, but actually this is all because it is coming from Krishna. So this is connected with Krishna, it becomes spiritual. Okay, clear now? So then how it happens, we'll study if we have in creation. Okay, anyway, so anybody has any question now? Or we proceed? Okay, so we proceed further. Oh, whatever. We go to our chapter. Canto 2, chapter 5, verse number 9. So, okay, now everything creates within Brahma Jyoti. So now Brahmaji will offer obeisances. Okay, so Brahmaji after, Brahmaji after offering obeisances, okay. I'm sorry, man. Brahmaji, after glorifying Narad Muni, that you asked us a nice question, then he started explaining that I create after the Lord creating by Brahma Jyoti. Okay. But then he says, Then Narad Muni says, then why people accept you as a Lord? Brahmaji is explaining in verse number 12. Because of the influence of Maya, people call me supreme. Okay, that's a text number 12. तस्मै नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धीमहि यन्मायया दुरज्जया मां वदन्ति जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, read.
I offer my obeisances and meditate upon Lord Krishna, Vasudev, the personality of Godhead, whose invincible potency influences them, the less intelligent class of men, to call me the supreme controller.
Right. So he's saying, Brahma offer obeisances. So Tasmai Namo Bhagavate, I offer my obeisances to the Lord. Who is that Lord? Whose Lord's name is Vasudev. Dhimahi. I meditate on him. Dhimahi. Okay. Yan Maya Durajjaya. Yan Maya, because who's Maya? Yan. Yan matlab who? The Lord's Maya. And what Maya? It is very difficult to overcome. Durajjaya. Mam Vadanti Jagadguru. So people accept me as Jagadguru because of that. Okay. Understood now? So whole world under the three modes of under the Maya. So because of this Maya, okay, they consider him as the Supreme Lord. Okay. So the Prabhupada writes in the purport is explained as more will be clearly explained in the next verse. The illusory potency of the Lord bewilders a less intelligent to accept Brahma or for that matter any other person as the Supreme Lord. So Brahmaji, however, refuses to be called this and he directly offers obeisances unto Lord Vasudev, Shri Krishna, the personality of God. Okay, clear now? Then Prabhupada quotes about Brahma Samhita, Ishvara, Parama Krishna. Okay, is it clear? So Brahmaji was conscious. This means, Prabhupada writes, Brahmaji was conscious of his actual position and he knows how less intelligent people bewildered by illusory energy of the Lord whimsically accept anyone and everyone as God. A responsible personality like Brahmaji refused to address as the Supreme Lord by his disciple or subordinate. But foolish person, praised by men of nature of dogs and hogs and camel asses, feel flattered to be the address as Supreme Lord. Why such people takes pleasure? Because of Maya. Understood now? Okay, because of Maya it takes place. And how Maya acts on that person? Verse number 3. Maya acts on person on the concept of I and man. Okay. Vilajamanaya yasya sthatum ikshapate maya vimohita vikatante mamaham iti durdiyaha. Read the
The
translation.
illusory energy of the Lord cannot take precedence, being ashamed of her position. But those who are bewildered by her always talk nonsense, being absorbed in thoughts of it is I and it is mine.
The illusory energy of the Lord cannot take precedence, being ashamed of her position. So Maya does not stand in front of the Lord, Maya stands behind the Lord. Why? Because Maya knows, she feels shy, that Maya knows that how Maya knows that Paramatma or the Supreme Lord knows her tricky nature. That's one reason. So therefore, and knows, Jiva Goswami write in Tattva Sandarbha that Maya had a difficult task. First reason, Sridhar Swami says that Maya knows that Paramatma knows Maya's tricky nature. That's why she does not come. Second reason, Jiva Goswami says that Maya had a difficult task to trouble it. Like this is a very difficult task that Maya troubles the devotees, make living entities away from the Lord. That is her. So therefore, because of her function like this, she also does not come in front of the Lord. And third is because being a shadow, she also does not come in front of the Lord. So this is the three reason. Because Maya is a shadow potency. Okay, Brahma Samhita, verse number 44. Maya is the shadow of Lakshmi, so she does not come in front of the Lord. So who makes that shadow? Because when living entity wanted to be separate from the Lord, the same Lakshmi becomes Durga. Okay, clear now? Yes. Okay, so reference is Brahma Samhita 44. What is that verse? Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga. Chaya. Durga is a shadow of Srimati, Lakshmi Devi, Rama Devi or Chit potency. Okay? And who creates that? Because living entity wants for. Prabhupada will write in further purports that as a small child, what do you say? Small child hanker after mother to want cooking. So mother gives her artificial cooking, proper rights. Like Supreme Lord gives the play things to the children and they enjoy with that. So this material world is like a plaything for the children. And they are bewildered by the concept of I and mine. Okay. So what is this I and mine? This I and mine is Annamaya, Pranamaya. Annamaya means sensual level, Pranamaya means extended senses. Annamaya means you think of yourself, person think of himself only, or at the sensual level is Annamaya. Pranamaya means extended senses. How many of you know about this 5 kinds of consciousness? It's in Taittiriya Upanishad. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandmaya. So what do you know about this? Annamaya, Pranamaya? Yes.
Annamaya is basically at the level of eating, hunger, body more conscious.
Pranamaya? Hmm?
Means life of this means they're more concerned about this body concern.
Okay, generally we know these things. But there are other definitions also. There is Annamaya Purusha, Pranmaya Purusha, Manomaya Purusha, Vijnanmaya Purusha, Anandmaya Purusha. So Anandmaya Purusha, right hand is happiness, the right hand is bliss, left hand is happiness. Anandmaya Purusha, right hand is this, like this in Taittiriya Upanishad. So these are Purusha when when you say Annamaya Purusha, Pranmaya Purusha means these are the what is it? These are the forms of the Lord. Lord has expanded into these forms. And when he says kosha, Annamaya kosha means these are the kosha covering of the living intellect. Annamaya kosh, Pranamaya kosh, Manamaya kosh, Vijnanmaya kosh, Anandmaya kosh. Okay. And when we say Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, so these are the levels of consciousness also. Like an Annamaya, Shudra is there because he thinks of sensual level. Pranmaya, Vaishya, Manomaya, Kshatriya, Vijnanmaya, Brahmanas, and Anandmaya, Vaishnavas. And there are senses also. Annamaya senses, Pranmaya, extended, proper right sometimes. These are all from the purports. Proper right senses and extended senses. So Annamaya means senses, Pranmaya means extended senses, Manomaya means mind, psychophysical nature. Vijnanmaya means intelligence, and Anandmaya means consciousness. Okay. So these are the levels. Annamaya, Pranmaya. So there are scriptures also on these levels. How many of you know this? There are scriptures also in these levels. How many of you don't know? How many of you know? No. All right, what happened?
Don't know.
Okay, so there are scriptures also. Annamaya level is scriptures which deal with sensual knowledge, like related to senses, astronomy, astrology, Dhanurved, Ayurved, 4 Vedas, okay, art and crafts, then modern science. Modern science is based on empiricism, means they're based on senses. Pranmaya means extended senses. So in the Pranmaya means all the world religions, Hindu, Muslims, Christian, Parsi, Gujarati, Marwadi, all, except Sanatan Dharma, all. Now, all kinds of ism under Pranamaya. Philanthropism, skepticism, agnosticism, nationalism, all the ism. Why India is great? Because I am born. Philanthropist, why serving food is great? Because I am serving it. If I am not serving, the serving food is not great. Or if I don't like, it is not great. So, Pranamaya, because you are involved. So, these are all bodily concepts. So, real human life starts with Manomaya. So, Annamaya means Shastra, Veda Shastra. Pranmaya means Niti Shastra or Artha Shastra, moral principles. Why somebody wants Niti or justice? Because he is involved. If he is not involved, then he will not look for justice. That is Pranmaya. All the Rotary Club, Lion Club, Goat Club, all this comes under Pranmaya. Manomaya means real human being. It's called psychophysical nature. That's called Dharma Shastra. Artha Shastra Pranmaya, above Artha Shastra is Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra means Yajnavalkya Smriti, Parashar Smriti. So all the duties of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Okay, that is called Manomaya. And then why Dharma is needed to practice to come to the platform of soul. So Vijnanmaya means Vedanta Shastra, difference between body and soul. So that is Upanishad and Vedanta. And who is the soul? Soul is servant of Krishna. So in Anandmaya, Bhakti Shastra. That is Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Got this? So these are the extended definition of these things. So therefore, why I spoke in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna argued to Arjuna to kill them on the basis of Artha Shastra. But Arjuna says, Dharma Shastra is higher than Artha Shastra. Then Krishna in the second chapter says, Jnana Shastra is higher than the Dharma Shastra. Jnana Shastra means knowledge of difference between body and soul. Okay? Got this? Then real is Krishna conscious knowledge. Okay, now any questions regarding this? There are much more like this.
Pranamaya, it is Niti Shastra. Okay?
Pran mein niti or artha, whatever, it's the same thing.
Oh.
Artha does not mean economics, but Artha Shastra also mean the what is it? Leadership and statement. What is it? Leadership and statesmanship about the how to lead a country. All those things. Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we were discussing that Maya is ashamed of being coming in front of Lord. So first point was Maya's tricky nature, and third point was Maya's shadow of Lakshmi. What was the second point you were making?
You are just coming on my mind. I was speaking. So wait. First one I said that Maya's tricky nature.
Yeah.
Second point. Sorry, Jiva Goswami says in Tattva Sandarbha that Maya has a difficult task to bewilder the living beings. So therefore, she feels ashamed to come in front of them. And this I first reason I spoke from Sridhar Swami, Maya's tricky nature. And shadow means because shadow is always behind. That is in Brahma Samhita. For every three things I gave you reference. You can go and check.
Yes, Prabhuji, where it is written that Maya is shadow of Lakshmi exactly. There is some verse.
Of course, the verse. I quoted the verse also.
That is Maya Lakshmi of Lakshmi. I am asking.
Are Baba, Brahma Samhita, it is said, okay, I'll open Brahma Samhita. We make you read it. It's in the purport also, and it's in the verse also. Wait, I'll make you read. It's here now. We are on the verse number 30. Prabhu, it's a verse. Chit means Lakshmi. Chit is also means Lakshmi. Okay? Chit potency means Lakshmi. Because in Brahma Samhita, verse number 7, 8, Lakshmi creates her shadow. In the purports, Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj. Chaye vayasya bhuvanani vivarti dhuru. See, I'll show you the verse. Writing of the past acharyas. Okay, see this. This is the translation I'll show you. Okay. Now see this. Now I'll make you read this. The secondary process of association with Maya is described. Rama Devi, the spiritual chit potency, beloved consort of the Supreme Lord, is regulatrix of all entities. The divine plenary portion creates, who is the divine plenary portion? Mahavishnu of Krishna. He is a plenary portion of Krishna, creates the mundane world. So at creation there appears a divine halo, okay. Shambhu is there, okay. And then Shambhu is a twilight, okay, that's finished. So then later, after the conceiving potency, okay, after this, see this line. The conceiving potency in regard to mundane creation makes her appearance out of supreme regulatrix. Who is this supreme regulatrix? On the above line is written, it is Rama Devi. So Maya comes from Rama Devi. Okay, she is Maya, the limited, non-absolute para potency. Okay, so who is this Rama Devi? Is a chit potency. Now further in this verse, in verse 44, it is explained that chit potency. So if Durga is coming from the Rama Devi, so Rama Devi is a chit potency. So then verse number 44 explains that Durga is a shadow of Rama. Okay, the external potency Maya, who is the nature of shadow of chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga. Understood now?
Yes.
Okay. So chit all means Lakshmi. It is used in that. Okay, Prabhuji? And
yes,
Prabhupada also in the lectures he writes Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. Sometimes Mahamaya changes into Yoga Maya changes into Mahamaya. Okay.
Yeah. But I was looking for the reference we have heard, but now Chit potency Lakshmi, I got connecting.
No problem. You can ask me. No problem. Chit means spiritual, no? So
yeah.
She shadow spiritual. But which potency? So I made you read the verse number 8. Okay.
Because we have heard that Subhadra become Durga in this material world. We have also heard this also.
I'll explain. Subhadra comes as Yoga Maya, who is the wife of Sadashiv and the boundary of spiritual world. And this Sadashiv is a Vishnu Tattva. And from this Sadashiv comes a Shambhu via medium of Mahavishnu. that Shambhu, and from this Shadashiv's wife Yogmaya, she comes via medium of what is that, Rama Devi as Durga. There are references also in the Bhakti and Saraswati Maharaj purports. Only thing I have to search. Okay.
Okay. And Prabhuji, one more question, if time permits. Can you show the purpose where different koshas are mentioned? You told us so many varieties of koshas.
See, this one thing is in Taittiriya Upanishad, I'll show you. So
Yeah.
these are the Purushas, but these things, which I showed you, there are books are there. These are called extended definition. So there are no reference for this like this, but there are definitions like this. I proper. So this I heard in one of the class. Okay, one of the sannyasi was speaking. So then I also asked him the reference. He said it's not like this. See, in philosophy when you study, every word is general definition, categorical definition, and its connection to Krishna. Now, for example, you take Annamay. So Annamay means what? There is baby also there. Okay. Right?
Yes.
But there is no shloka like this. Further, like there is baby. Prabhupada writes in the purport, right?
Okay.
Okay. But at Annamay level, there are sensual level is also there. I, because in Annamay, I only think of myself. Baby in the childhood, he always think of himself. Everything he comes, he put into his mouth.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the way extended definitions are created. So Annamay Shudras. Shudras means they are more on sensual level. Therefore, for the Shudra, physical punishment is more.
Okay.
For the Brahmana, it is less because he is not bodily concerned. Shudra is in much more bodily concerned. Therefore, they serve. Okay. So like this in Annamay, there are scriptures who related to senses. Who always think of like art and crafts. I want to make art and crafts. For my pleasure, I want to do this. Okay. Right. So like this, these are the extended definition and it makes sense also, right? It is
Yes.
logically explainable. Like, for example, I'll tell you how you can understand. Now, Niti Shastra is on Pranamay level. Okay. So in Niti Shastra, Chanakya Niti, Vidura Niti, Brahaspati Niti, all the Niti comes. Niti means moral. Now, why somebody will have moral principles or justice? I want justice because I'm involved. If I'm not involved, will I look for justice? Tell me.
No.
That's the point. So this is the point called pranamaya. Okay. So
Hmm.
now I'll tell you one shloka from Chanakya Niti. Okay. Chanakya says, you might have heard also, to save a country, you can sacrifice a state.
Yes.
To save a state, you sacrifice a city.
Yes.
Save a city, you sacrifice a village.
Yeah.
To save a village, you sacrifice a family.
Yes.
But to save a family, you sacrifice one person.
Yes.
But then Chanakya says to save ourselves, oneself, you can sacrifice everyone. Now at the Niti Shastra, ourself means yourself, thing related you and thing related to you and mine. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But if you see from Anandamaya, who is yourself? You are Krishna's servant. So saving your Krishna conscious, then you can sacrifice others. So all the scriptures should be seen in the light of Bhagavad, then they'll have a proper meaning. Otherwise, the same scripture will give very people get bewildered by these things. Understood now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Does it make sense or not?
Yes, Prabhuji. And the first time I heard so many varieties of this koshas, this Anme Praname, first time I heard so many different varieties of definition. I never
Right.
heard.
Because see, if you do, I am not giving class on koshas, but if you give koshas one by one, these things will come logically.
Hanji.
Because Prabhupada writes sometimes, senses you put on folio, senses, extended senses.
Okay.
Senses me, and extended senses means those who are connected to my senses, they are mine.
Okay.
So Vaishyas will earn for whom? For himself and those who are connected to himself. He will not earn for others, right?
Yes.
So this is the way it has been made. So the person from whom I learned is a very scholarly person.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
These are the way. So scriptures means like every time reference is okay, but this sometimes you connect this point, you connect this point. There are one statement here, one statement here, one statement here, and you join it, you'll get a bigger picture.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like for example, see, for example,
Hmm.
I have a mobile here.
Yes.
Now you don't know about the mobile and you see this part. I will
Yes.
tell you define mobile. How will you define mobile as a camera and this all this thing, right?
Yes.
But this part is for me. I will say somebody tell me to define mobile. I will say mobile is a screen only.
Yeah.
Your definition, my definition contradicts each other, no, about the mobile.
In a way, yes.
In a way, yes, in a way. But one who knows overall mobile, he can know from which angle of mobile he is speaking. Understood now?
Hanji.
So therefore, acharyas bring out certain points of a particular thing. So now I will say from how I got this. Okay, there is a book called Sri Damodar Janini by Shivram Swami. You might have heard also, seen also. Okay. So
Shri Damodar Journey by Sridhar Swami.
Sri Damodar Janini by Shivram Swami.
Sridhar Swami Maharaj. Okay, okay.
So in the introduction, what Shivram Swami, I just went through the introduction. He did a very brilliant thing. He took 10 Acharyas commentary on Damodar Leela and he made it into a nice picture.
Okay.
Nice. How? Because some Acharya, like there are 10 Acharyas. One Acharya may explain the emotions going on in Yashoda's mind and Krishna's mind. One
Hmm.
Acharya may explain about the Ukhal. One Acharya, one Harish, sorry, Acharya, I don't know his proper name. He explains about the rope, right? One Acharya explains in a narrative way. One Acharya explains the surroundings effect. So like this, if you join everything, you'll get a whole picture.
Hanji.
Okay. So this I got idea, so therefore I study in this way. Okay. So if you want to accept, fine, up to you.
No, you said I have read it purports, so I was asking for the purports. You said I have
Purports,
found
in
all
the
these things in
purports,
different purports.
in the purports, not completely, but these things are given like Annamay, Pranamay, I and mine. Okay.
It's very-
That up to that extent it is given. But
Okay.
Manomay also sometimes propertize psychophysical nature, that somebody wants to study, somebody wants to fight, somebody
Hanji.
wants to earn. So these are psychophysical nature according to Dharma Shastra is on Manomay. So Manomay means mind, psychophysical nature, right? Or somebody distinguished, he has intelligence, it is distinguished between matter and spirit. So that is Vijnanmaya. So Vijnanmaya, which scripture talks about difference between matter and spirit is Vedanta and Upanishad, right?
Hanji.
And now soul is the servant of Krishna. The which scripture speak about direct Krishna consciousness is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam.
Hanji.
So then Vaishnavas are Anandmay because they always study Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Brahmanas are very much inclined to know difference between body and soul. Okay. And Kshatriyas always want to perform their duty, that is Dharma Shastra. And Vaishyas, they want to look for the justice, Niti Shastra and all those things. So this is the way it is categorized somewhat. Like
Hanji.
there is no verse, that from Annamaya 1 to 5, there is childhood, like baby, then 5 to 10. There is no verse like this.
Hanji.
But this is explained. So this is the Vedic way of this is called extended definition in general. So there is not like Prabhupada writes in 13.5 Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chando Vidak Brahm. That is, he writes Brahma Pucham Pratishtha, right? You have heard that purport you read? Prabhupada writes about Brahma Pucham Pratishtha and he writes about this 5 thing. I can, if you want, I'll show you.
Yes. Koshas are there.
Koshas, but he gives in a different way, right?
Hanji.
Not like, and intelligent. So therefore, but if you see these things are there given in, but I learned it from some of the proper disciples, therefore I'm just explaining to you.
Hanji.
But Taittiriya Upanishad speak about Purusha, Annamaya Purusha. I can show you, but it will take time for me to open. In Bhanu Maharaj's Taittiriya Upanishad translation, it is there.
Okay, brother.
Commentary by Ranga Ramanujan. Okay?
Yes, bro. Thank you, brother.
Okay, very good.
Hare Krishna,
So
Prabhuji.
okay, after this question, we'll have 15 minutes break. Okay?
Prabhuji, actually, I wanted to ask, what is the timeline like Brahma Samhita is spoken by Brahmaji and here Bhagavatam Narad Muni is asking that Brahma Samhita, already Brahma is told that Ishvara Paramakrishna and everything. So, वो पहले बोला गया था, was that spoken before or after?
The timeline in what sense you want? Which day?
मतलब, हाँ, मतलब which period? मतलब before Narad, when was the Brahma Samhita written? After Narad?
Because once I asked Kanai Krishna Prabhu, he was quoting some verse. I forgot. He said that Brahma, it is appeared that Brahmaji got darshan. Okay, when Brahmaji spoke, when he spoke Brahma Samhita, that he spoke that in according he said there is some explanation is there. This is the 51st year of Brahmaji, no? Right?
Yes.
So he was quoting Gopal Tapani Upanishad where it is said in the because 51st year of Brahma, this Brahma spoke Brahma Samhita. But there in Gopal Tapani Upanishad, it is explained that Brahmaji spoke in the first day of creation. He was quoting some Sanskrit verse. So anyway, so we take this way, what is given in our Vishwanath Chavi Thakur. Okay. So Brahmaji, this is the 51st year. So this Brahmaji is a devotee. So okay, because this this Brahmaji spoke about, because there is another Brahma who did not heard Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Vishwanath Chavi Thakur says, therefore he did not heard Chatushloki Bhagavatam. He ran after his daughter Bhak. But after hearing Chatushloki, he did not. He became a devotee. But that is not this Brahma. This is different. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Exact is not given, so we take it as this way anyway. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we go back to our track. So we can take break now. 15 minutes. Come after the break. Okay. Okay, take break now. Haribol. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Everyone is there. Hari Bol.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So let's start. Actually, Rukmini Vallabh Prabhu was saying that he wanted to recite some verses. What is that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So therefore, I gave you 20 minutes break. 5 minutes official, 5 minutes to recite the shloka.
Okay. Actually, Prabhuji, some devotees were not there. That's why we did not did it. From tomorrow, we will be doing.
Okay, no problem. Okay, then we continue. Okay,
Yes, Prabhuji.
so we are in this verse, text number 13, right? So
Yes.
after this text, so the Prabhupada writes in the purport of this. See here, the nonsensical talks. The nonsensical talks are not supported by Vedic principles of the Vedic literature. And the first great nonsensical talk is it is I and mine. Okay. And Jagdishwar Mohanpuri were asking the question, no. So there are two opinions, like Jiva Goswami writes in Gopal Tapani that Brahma Samhita was spoken at the 51st year of Brahma, means after first Prarabdha. Brahma has two Prarabdha. First Prarabdha is 1 to 50 years, and after that, next Prarabdha. So this is after first Prarabdha. Jiva Goswami writing in Gopal Tapani Upanishad that Brahmaji spoke Brahma Samhita. And Vishwanath Chaitanya Thakur is saying that Brahmaji spoke, Lord spoke Chatushloki in the first day of Brahma. So, but Gopal Tapani also, Jiva Goswami is like the Brahmaji during that time, he also heard Chatushloki. So, generally, once he was saying, Kanai Krishna Prabhu, we take two opinions. Therefore, we take two opinions. Okay. Generally, Brahma Samhita is 51st year. Okay.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay. So we go to text number 14. So now 14 is what? 14 talks about what are the symptoms of manifest world. Okay. This is one is answered. What is the one of the symptoms? Yadrupam and Yad. Then Sridhar Swami says this verse also answer Yad Adhishtanam. What is its shelter? So what is the shelter is? Okay. So these ingredients are non-different from Vasudev. Text number 14. Means these energies, these elements are non-different from Vasudev. Dravya karma cha kalascha svabhavo jiva eva cha Vasudevat paro brahman nachanyo artho sthiti tatvatah. Okay, read the translation.
The five elementary ingredients of creation, the interaction thereof set up by eternal time, and the intuition or nature of the individual living beings are all differentiated parts and parcels of the personality of Godhead, Vasudev. And in truth, there is no other value in them.
Yes, so all these things are, so these elements are also actually they are all based on Supreme Lord. So I can read some Prabhupada's nice quotes, okay, regarding this. Here it is written, Sridhar Swami says that now Brahma is answering Narada's question, Yad Rupam as well as Yad Adhishthanam. What is the shelter of the universe? So Lord, the shelter of all these universes, Lord is. So all the ingredients, okay, time and everything are differentiated parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord. In sense, they are non-different from the Lord. They are energies of the Lord. Okay. For this, I would love to show you some few things. Can somebody read this?
Matter is spiritual. In a higher sense, there is no matter at all. Everything is spiritual. Because Krishna is spiritual and matter is one of the energies of Krishna, matter is also spiritual. Krishna is totally spiritual and spirit comes from spirit. However, because the living entities are misusing this energy, that is, using it for something other than Krishna's purposes, it becomes materialized. and so we call it matter. The purpose of this Krishna conscious movement is to re-spiritualize this energy. Path of Perfection, Chapter 1, Yoga of Action.
So point is, if Krishna is spiritual, okay, so from him spirit come, why matter is coming? We make it as matter. So I gave Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita also, that everything is spiritual. Therefore the quote in Sarva Khalam Idam Brahman. So everything is spiritual means everything is qualities and energies of Krishna. Okay. Now second is, so when we say Krishna is spiritual, so we say in context with material, but beyond spiritual is transcendental. So Prabhupada sometimes write matter and spirit coming from Krishna means Krishna is both. He has a special category which we don't know. He has his own category, Prabhupada says. So Prabhupada says, so Krishna is transcendence. So when we say Krishna is spiritual, but in relation to matter, we say. Okay, beyond spiritual is transcendence. Understood? Okay, read the next statement. See,
Everything,
no, here, read the bold.
originally everything is spiritual, nothing is material. In
Okay.
Chaitanya Charitamrita,
No, it's okay. You can read this translation. That is good. Read this translation.
although he sees trees, mountains, and other living entities moving here and there, he sees all as a creation of the Supreme Lord with reference to the context. Sees only the creator and not the created. In other words, he no longer distinguishes between the created and the creator. He sees only the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything. He sees Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. This is oneness.
Okay, now again, read this here.
Therefore, in a higher sense, there is no exhibition of material energy because everything is spiritual energy. The energy in which the Lord is all pervasive is not realized is called material. Otherwise, everything is spiritual.
Now more. I'm giving you this. I'm showing you the bold thing. Just 2-3 quotes I'll show, which is about these elements, because I'm discussing about the elements now. Okay. I'll just show you about the elements here. Here it is. Okay, read this one. Actually, in higher sense.
Actually, in higher sense, there is no matter. There is no matter. Everything is spiritual because Krishna is spiritual. Krishna is whole spirit, and the matter is one of the energies of Krishna. Therefore, it is also spirit. But because it is being misused, not for the purpose of Krishna, therefore it is called matter.
Okay. Therefore, it is matter. Okay, 1 minute. So there are a lot more quotes, many quotes here. Okay, here. See this, read this. Here, this one.
In the higher therefore, the things, the ingredients is originally spiritual because it is Krishna's energy. But aham mameti, when we try to impose our proprietorship, that is materialism. Materialism means forgetfulness of Krishna. Otherwise, there is no materialism. Everything is spiritual.
There is about the earth, water, fire, air also. 1 minute. See this. See this. This from here. Because this microphone, from here you read here.
Because this microphone is made of material elements, earth, water, fire, air. But this, if we remember that these material energies, earth, water, air, fire, sky, even mind, intelligence, ego, prakriti, me, prakriti mein bhinna ashtada, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. Altogether, this 8 comprise my separated material energies. They are also energies of Krishna. They are not separate from Krishna. Therefore, if Krishna is spirit, then these so-called material elements, they are also spirit. But it is used as material because we do not remember the relationship of this material element with Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is when we are forgetful of Krishna, then it is material. Otherwise, there is nothing as material. Everything is spiritual.
Okay, so Prabhupada quotes this. Eka desha sthitasya dot savistaranyata parasya brahmana shakti yathedam akhilam means everything is shaktis of the Lord, qualities and energies. Like there are many quotes like this. Okay. Okay, got this. So all these elements are depend on the Lord. They are energies of the Lord. Okay, so they are all dependent of the Lord. Okay, can somebody read the purport? 1 minute, One sec.
This word is impersonal.
From here to read this.
This phenomenal world is impersonally the representation of Vasudev because the ingredients of its creation, their interaction, and the engine of the resultant action, the living beings are all produced by the external and internal energy of Lord. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.4 and 5. The ingredients, namely earth, water, fire, air, and sky, as well as the conception of material identity, intelligence, and the mind, are produced of the external energy of Lord.
Yes, so got this. So these are all represented as the Supreme, is the energies of the Supreme Lord. Okay. So Prabhupada again further writes. See further in the purport he writes. Here, you can read this.
Living entity is known as the marginal potency of Lord, but in all circumstances, neither the material ingredients nor the spiritual part and parcel are independent of the personality of God Vasudev. For all things, whether product of external, internal, or marginal potential of Lord, are simply display of the same effulgence of Lord. Just as the light, heat, and smoke are display of a fire. None of them is separate from the fire. All of them combine together to be the called fire. Similarly, all the phenomenal manifestations, as well as the influence of a body of Vasudev, are his impersonal features. Whereas he externally exists in his transcendental form, is called Satchitananda Vigraha, distinct from all conception of material ingredients mentioned above.
Means all these elements are energies of the Lord, but still Lord, though these energies are dependent on him, he has his own personal form also. So Yad Rupa means this material is composed of these elements, and then Adhisthana means they are basis of these elements, and the word is Vasudeva. Clear now? Okay. Yes. So now,
Yes.
so next 15, verse number 15, whatever you take shelter, it's all Narayan is a shelter of everything. Word taking. Narayana Paraveda Devanaraya Angajaha Narayana Narayana Paramakaha. Read the translation.
The Vedic literature are made by and are meant for a Supreme Lord. The demigods are also meant for serving the Lord as parts of his body. The different planets are also meant for the sake of Lord, and a different sacrifice are performed just to please him.
Yes. So what is the this verse and next verse give the conclusion of scriptures. What is the conclusion of scripture is Narayan. So where it is given about the scripture about Narayan is the so Prabhupada quote the Vedanta Sutra called Shastra Unitvat. What is this Shastra Unitvat? See here. So Shastra Unitvat means Shastras are the information about the Lord. The Shastra Yoni, the Shastra speaks about the Lord. So about the absolute truth is given in the Shastra. So everything should be connected into the Shastra. Like there is Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, everything is categorized into three, all these universe. Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. So Adi Devik, if you take as a river, so Adi Bhautik will be river, Ganga. Adi Adhyatmik means the potency of river. And Adi Daivik means the demigod river. Now these three have connection with Krishna. Madhvacharya says that is called Adi Vishnu. So these are the thing, everything we look in connection with the Narayan. Okay, Narayan is the source of everything. Everything is meant to please him. Okay, everything is meant to please Narayan. Okay, is it clear now? Okay, so we go further. So Narayan is the object of everything. Now text 16. This Jiva Goswami says this verse and this verse 15 and 16 talks about Narayan as the shelter of everything. Narayana paro yogo Narayana param tapaha Narayana Para Jnanam Narayana Para Iti. Read the translation.
All the different types of meditation or mysticism are means for realizing Narayan. All austerities are aimed at achieving Narayan. Culture of transcendental knowledge is for getting a glimpse of Narayan, and ultimately salvation is in entering the kingdom of Narayan.
Right. So in this, Jiva Goswami says yoga and Sankhya, meditation or mysticism, yoga, not austerities, everything. So yoga and Sankhya are dependent on the Lord for their results. They have to do a little bit of bhakti to get to their results. Okay, so then proper in the purport it talks about Ashtang Yogi and Gyan Yogi. Okay, the Ashtang Yogi, there are two types. One go to Brahman, one goes into the merge into Paramatma. And Gyan Yogi, they goes into the Brahman. Okay, for the ultimate liberation. But for the devotee, the ultimate liberation is going to the Vaikuntha sky, Prabhupada writes. Okay. Now, text 17. Okay. So now, in this Narad Muni, the link between text 16 and 17 is now the Narayan is, everything. Everything is based on Narayan. So the Narad Muni is asking to Brahmaji, then what do you do? Okay. Now from 17 to 20, Brahmaji will describes the difference between the living entity and the Jiva. 17 to 20. Difference between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva. Okay. So Narayan is everything, then what does Brahma do? Yes. Tasyapi drashtir ishasya kutastasya khilatmanaha srijam srijami shishtoham ikshayava vichoditaha. Read the translation.
Inspired by him only, I discover what is already created by him, Narayan, under his vision as well as all pervading super soul. And I also am created by him only.
From Sridhar Swami, this link is coming from Sridhar Swami. That everything Paramatma or Narayan is doing, what do you do? So then he said, I get inspiration from the Lord. Lord is the inspirer and I am inspired by him. Then I do the creation. Okay. So I'm inspired by, he does the creation by the glance and I inspire to further create the bodies of the living entity. Okay. So Prabhupada writes in the purport. 1 minute. See, even Brahma, does somebody read this?
Even Brahma, the creator of the universe, admits that he is not the actual creator, but he is simply inspired by Lord Narayan and therefore creates under his superintendence those things already created by him. The super soul of all living entities. Two identities of soul, the super soul and the individual soul, are admitted to be in the living entity, even by the greatest authority of the universe. The super soul is the supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, whereas the individual soul is the eternal servitor of the Lord. The Lord inspires the individual soul to create what is already created by the Lord. And by the good will of the Lord, a discoverer of something in the world is accredited as the discoverer.
Okay, so understood inspired and thing which one is an inspirer, one is inspired. So then Prabhupada quote by the Christopher Columbus, he gives an example that by the dint of his past service, the Lord blessed him and credit of discovering America. Okay. So by the mercy of the Lord only he could able to get further thing. Okay. So we'll go further. Text 18.
Vijay, in this, it is
Prabhupada writes here one more point. Here, very nice point Prabhupada writes. Can somebody read this?
one must therefore be voluntarily willing to render service unto the Lord. And thus the Lord will empower the doer in proportion to his surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Brahma is a great devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he has been empowered or inspired by the Lord to create such a universe as the one manifested before us.
Yeah. So here Prabhupada writes, This ability is awarded by according to one's willingness to render service to the Lord. So one is willing to serve the Lord under the guidance of a devotee, then everything will manifest. Yes, anybody was asking something?
Yes, Guruji. Guruji, here it is mentioned that I am just creating what is already created. And the statement is telling like that. So means what exactly means, because in the external sense he is actually creating, but it is internal way Lord has already created. How to
Not external way. Creation will start from text 21, then I'll show you the PPT. Lord already created the blueprint of the universe within the lotus. This, Brahma comes from lotus, right? Okay, so Lord creates the creation within the lotus, and Brahma then identifies with the lotus, then he creates. He gets the blueprint, like a generally example given, like if you give a baby, what is a baby, a child, a coloring book, the diagrams are already made. You just have to take crayons and put it, right? Okay, so Brahmaji takes ingredients from the Maya, Durga, and then he gives that to the body of all the souls. Already their subtle bodies have been created by Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Subtle means in the sense which is the universal form, which all the bodies are based on the universal form. Universal form, all these things. When we study, when we come, then the creation will come. So regarding the verses, I'll show you. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, we're discussing about the destination of Jnanis is impersonal Brahman and Yogis is Paramatma. Paramatma is within the heart. So how can that, if they die, so where do they go,
Now,
yogis?
die means Paramatma here means Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. They merge into the body of Mahavishnu.
Okay.
But those yogis, they go to Paramatma, so Brahman, they see Paramatma, but they think, Vishnu Thakur says they use Paramatma as a bait. They see the Paramatma, but they have the desire to merge into Brahman. So Vishnu Thakur says they are very unfortunate people because they are using Lord as a bait, to achieve their destination. So very, very unfortunate. So there are some yogis, they merge into Brahman, or there are some yogis, they merge into the body of Paramatma.
Body of Paramatma means they have no subtle body, no gross body, only soul is merging into the body of Paramatma and no spiritual body also.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And Prabhuji, could you explain that example again, Brahma of the river? You said three, Brahmaji, the presiding deity. Could you explain that example again of the river? You explained that three, Brahmaji is the Adi Deviks. You explained.
I didn't say about Brahmaji. I said everything is dependent on the Lord. So this universe is into three-dimensional. This will also come Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik.
Anji.
Okay? So all these three levels are connected to the Lord. That's the whole point.
So can you explain an example regarding river? I couldn't understand it
River
example.
means, if you Adi Bhuta means visual to the eyes. Bhuta means senses.
Anji.
A river is visible to your eyes. Okay.
Yes.
But there is a potency of a river. There is some potency, spiritual potency or whatever. Or the material potency also, that if you take in the flowing river, the nervous system will be okay. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports. So this is the potency is Adhyatma. Okay. And there is a controller of that river is Adi Daiva. And all these three are connected to Vishnu, that is called Adi Vishnu.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay then. Okay, clear now? So we go further. Because there are big purports, so I'm just going through certain points. Whatever is okay. So Prabhupada writes last very intelligent point, a very beginning, a very nice point. You just read from here, beginning from Brahma.
Beginning from Brahma, the topmost intelligent living entity within the universe, down to the smallest ant, every living entity's intelligence is overseen by the Lord in his transcendental position as the witness of all actions. The subtle presence of the Lord is felt by the intelligent men who can study the psychic effects of thinking, feeling, and willing.
So the presence of the Lord can be felt by who can study this psychic effects of thinking, feeling, and willing. So one who is very intelligent enough, he can see the Lord's presence, everywhere. Okay, cow eating a grass. So grass is changing into milk. How is happening? This is the mystical potencies of the Lord. Okay, so Lord is doing this. We cannot do many things. So there you can feel the presence. Like in the wood, Bhagavatam says in the wood there is a fire, but we cannot see it. But the intelligent man can see that. Okay. So now text number 18. So what text 18? So here it said the Lord is the basis of everything. So how Lord's everything this material world is in the gunas. So what Lord does? Lord accept the gunas, but through Maya Shakti. Satvam rajas tama iti nirgunasya gunastrayah sthiti
Sthiti sarga nirodeshu.
grihita maya vibho. Read the translation.
The Supreme Lord is pure, spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities. Yet, for the sake of the creation of the material world and its maintenance and annihilation, he accepts through his external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance.
The Lord accept the gunas, but how? Through Durga. Durga being the external energy. Okay. So Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So this is the difference between Jiva and the Ishvara. From now, 18, 19, 20 will be described the distinction between Jiva and Ishvara. What is the distinction? That because one is inspiring and other gets inspiration from that inspired. Or one is inspired and other inspires. Okay. So Lord accept these three gunas how? Through Maya Shakti. Maya takes the three gunas and he creates everything. Okay. So this is the, because Jiva is controlled by this three gun, but Lord accepts the three gun through external energy. But external energy controls the guna by putting it into Maya by its potency called Avarnatmika Shakti, covering the Jiva, and Prakshikatmika Shakti, throwing the Jiva into different bodies. Okay. So Prabhupada writes in the purport. Prabhupada writes in the purport of. Okay. So this is the distinguishing. Okay. Can somebody read this?
Supreme Lord is the master of the external energy manifested by the three material moods, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. And as master of this energy, he is ever unaffected by the influence of such bewildering energy. The living entities, the jivas, however, are affected by or susceptible to being influenced by such modes of material nature. That is the difference between the Lord and the living entities. The living entities are subject to those qualities, although originally the living entities are qualitatively one with the Lord.
Okay, got this? So living entities are controlled, but Lord accepted by through Maya. Okay. So one is the master, one is the servant. Okay, now text 19. Text 19. So by Jiva, because they are bound by Maya. Okay. So these modes, how they function on Jiva? They bind the Jiva. Okay.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Yes.
प्रभु जी ये लॉर्ड एक्सेप्ट्स थ्रू माया इसका एग्जैक्टली मीनिंग क्या है मतलब कि वो तो फिर मायावादी फिलॉसफी होगी ना
नहीं, कैसे मायावादी हो गई ब्रो? बताओ मेरे को, एक्सप्लेन
क्योंकि
करो कैसे मायावादी।
मायावादी से उसमें कह रहे हैं कि लॉर्ड एक्सेप्ट्स थ्रू हिज एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी द मटेरियल मोड्स ऑफ नेचर तो लॉर्ड इज बियॉन्ड द मटेरियल मोड्स ऑफ नेचर इसका एग्जैक्टली
तो
लाइन का मतलब क्या है एग्जैक्टली कि मतलब मटेरियल जो माया है दैट इज रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ लॉर्ड और वो तीन गुणों के अंदर है और भगवान बाहर खड़े हैं या भगवान वो तीन गुणों को एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं थ्रू माया इसका एग्जैक्टली मीनिंग
it's in a very simple English, bro, that my Lord accepts through Maya. So when we study 20th verse creation, I'll explain how through Maya. Okay. And second thing, it is not Mayavadi explanation. Mayavadi means what? They accept Lord's body to be Maya. Body itself is Maya. Lord itself is Maya. They say. But here it is said Lord accepts three guna, not Maya, but three guna through Maya. But how through Maya? So then we'll study in the verse number 20. Okay? Because if I'll explain, then I have to explain everything. Just after this 19th verse, then we'll say how Lord does this creation. Okay? He accepts. Lord glance at Rama Devi. Rama Devi take the glance and give it to Durga. Okay? So Lord gives the glance to Durga indirectly. Brahma Samhita, verse number 7. Translation. Okay?
Okay,
So through Maya means what? He does it through his internal potency. Lord does not contact with Maya. but still you have to deal with Maya in a indirect way. Okay, but Krishna does not have to deal even that. So difference between Vishnu and Krishna and Adi Leela, chapter 2, verse 19, I think so. 1 minute, I'll show you. So Prabhupada writes the difference between Lord Krishna and Mahavishnu. 1 minute. ये कौन सा verse था? 90. Lord Mahavishnu difference. Generally we say God at home, God at office. Vishnu has 4 hands. Vishnu has these qualities. No. But Prabhupada gives very interesting meaning. I think so it's here or what? Wait, I'll open one of my document. Give me just 2 minutes. I'll show you. I just forgot the verse. It is in 252. 1 minute. I'll show you the 252. It's in Adi Leela 2.52. Can somebody read this?
Superficially, we see that these Purushas have a relationship with Maya, but above them is the fourth dimension, is Lord Krishna, who has no contact with the material energy.
To understand, this is the difference. So Prabhupada writes about the function. He says that these 3 Vishnus, because all of them are somehow attracted to the affairs of material energy, they cannot, okay, they can be said to have some affection for Maya. But transcends, so Krishna does not have to deal with Maya, but Mahavishnu deals with Maya, but in an indirect way. Okay? So they deal with Maya. Is it clear the difference? So,
Yes.
so you'll see the creation, then you'll understand how it is. Very interesting. So we go to text number 19. So Jiva is bound by this Maya. Karya karna krititve dravya jnana kriyashayam bhadanti nityadha muktam mayinam purusham gunam. Read the translation.
These 3 modes of material nature being further manifested as matter, knowledge, and activities put the externally transcendental living put the eternally transcendental living entity under conditions of cause and effect and make him responsible for such activities.
So these 3 modes of material being further manifested as matter. Matter means dravya. Okay. Knowledge. Matter dravya also means adi bhuta. Okay. And knowledge means what is that? In the shloka it is dravya karana. Then knowledge means karna. Karna means adi daiva. Okay. That is karna. Sorry, karma is adhyatma, knowledge. Karma is adhyatma and kritritve. Adi daiva means, I'm sorry, matter means dravya, knowledge means jnana, and activity means kriya. So kritritve means activity. Who's doing the activity? So that is adi daiva. Knowledge means adhyatma. Sorry, no, what is that? Adi Devik, Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhuta is matter, Adi Daiva is the knowledge, and Adhyatma is the activity. So these three things are there. Because these things are responsible. They are if they come. So three modes of material nature further manifest. How it is manifesting? We're going to see from text number 20. It is explained further. Put the eternal living entity in the condition of cause and effect. So the living entity is bound by goodness, passion, ignorance. So goodness, passion, ignorance is nothing but they're bound by Adi Bhuta, Adhyatma, and Adi Daiva. Okay. Adi Bhuta is Karya, Adhyatma is Karana, and Adi Daiva is Kartritve. Okay. Is it clear now? Matter is Dravya, senses is Kriya. So we do activities with the senses, and Devatas are the Gyan, knowledge. I said mode of goodness is knowledge, mode of ignorance is matter, and mode of passion is activities. Okay, clear now? So Jiva is bound by this Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. So Prabhupada talks about these things in his purport. Okay, here it is. Now see, Prabhupada is giving Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. Can somebody read from here? From here to here.
This external energy of the Lord covers up the pure knowledge of the living entities eternally existing with him. But the covering is so constant that it appears that the conditioned soul is eternally ignorant. Such is the wonderful action of Maya, or external energy manifested as if materially produced. By the covering power of the material energy, the material scientist cannot look beyond the material causes, but factually behind the material manifestations, there are Adibhuta, Adhyatma, and Adideva actions which the conditioned soul in the mode of ignorance cannot see. The Adibhuta manifestation entails reputation of births and deaths with old age and diseases. The Adhyatma manifestation conditions the spirit soul, and the Adideva manifestation is the controlling system. These
Okay.
are the
These are the causes. Means all the three are dependent on each other. Okay. The living entity, body is dependent on living entity, and living entity for seeing and moving, they are dependent on demigods. And demigods, because of their function, they want to function, so they are dependent on these two. If these two are not there, then what function the demigods will do? Not possible. Okay. So these things are there. Okay.
activities are Adhyatma.
Activities are Adhyatma.
And knowledge is Adibhuta.
No, knowledge is Adi Daiva.
Goodness.
Here in this verse, see, in this verse, Adi Daiva is activity, because the activity is done by the Devatas. And Adhyatma is the knowledge, is a soul. And Dravya is Adi Bhuta. Okay. Is it clear now, Prabhu?
Here in this verse, knowledge is Adhyatma.
In this verse, see, there is Karana. No. In this verse, is this Karya, Karana, Kritya. So in this verse, Karya will be Adi Bhuta. Okay. Karana, what's Karana is Adhyatma. And Kritya is Adi Daiva. So who is the actual doer is Adi Daiva. So here in the translation, matter will be what? Adi Bhuta, Karya. Okay. Okay, right? Am I right?
Yes.
And knowledge will be what? Knowledge is the Gyan. So Gyan will be Adi Daiva. Okay. And Kriya Ashraya will be Adhyatma. Kriya Ashraya will be Adhyatma. Got this?
Yes.
Or activities. Because the Adhyatma desires, so it is done by the Devatas based on his desire. And
yes.
Based on that, the body is also working. That is matter. Is it clear, bro?
Yes. Thank you.
So Prabhupada's purport, we read. Okay. So anyway, so we go to text 20. Now in text 20, because of this covering, or creation starts from 21. Because of these three covering, the people cannot perceive the Lord. That is text 20. Because of this covering, the people cannot perceive the Lord. Okay. Sa esha bhagwan lingais trivir aite adhokshajah swalakshita gatir brahman sarvesham mama cheshwara. So because they read.
Oh, Brahmana Narada, the superseer, the transcendent Lord, is beyond the perception of the material senses of the living entities because of the above mentioned three modes of nature. but he is the controller of everyone, including me.
So because Narada, the transcendent Lord is beyond the perception of material senses means Tribhir Aitera Dokshaja is beyond the Adokshaja, is beyond the material senses. But Swalakshite Gatir Brahma Sarvesham Mama Cheshwara. Because being bewildered by the three modes, but he is the because of the bewildered by three modes, the Jiva considered because they are bewildered by the three modes, so no one can understand that Lord is the supreme controller. Okay, and supreme controller, control of me also. Chayeshwara means Brahma is saying to Narada that people don't know that Lord, don't know the Lord, and they don't know that Lord is controlling me also. That's the point. Okay, is it clear? Yes or no? Okay. Here it is. Okay. So people don't know because the Lord is covered by Yogamaya potency. But one should not wrongly conclude that Lord was formerly unmanifested and now manifested in human form. This misconception of formless of is due to Yogamaya curtain of the Lord. For the Lord, it is Yogamaya. For the living entity, they are covered by Mahamaya. Okay? They can't understand. This is only one energy, but because of the living entity wants to be separate, the same energy looks as it transforms into Mahamaya. So Prabhupada writes, one who practices devotion service, desire to serve the Lord, the same Mahamaya will change into Yogamaya. Is it okay? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now from 31 to 35, Supreme Lord is Brahmaji will speak to Narad Muni about Yatha system or Karya Sisti. Sorry, Karna Sisti. The Yatha system from verse 21 to 35. And 21 to 31 is Karya Sisti. Sorry. Karna Sisti. Karna Sisti. Karna Sisti. Creation by Mahavishnu. Okay, till now anybody has any question? How many of you are you getting the flow? How Brahmaji, Narad is asking question? Okay, so there's some 5-6 question you ask. Then Brahmaji, the Narad has doubt and his conviction that Brahmaji is a supreme. Then he later found Brahmaji to be to tapasya. Then he had a doubt that there is someone supreme to him also. Then Brahmaji started explaining that beyond me there is supreme Lord. I create after him create. There is difference between him and me. The living entities under Maya thinks me to be supreme. They don't understand the supreme Lord because supreme Lord is an inspirer and I am inspired by him. So like this. So then he is explaining the other question. Now he'll explain Yatha system. We explain Yad Rupam, Yad Adhishthanam. Now, Yatha system, how this creation takes place. Is it clear? Anybody has any question? For beginning another section. Anybody has any question? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Roji, sorry, I just came a little late. If you you would have explained already Nirgunasya Gunastraya, how it is explained here through his external energy, because it's through our philosophy we understand through his external energy, or just by sloka itself, how do we understand that through his external energy?
Through his external energy means external energy is control of three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. So Lord accepting means he accept via medium through internal energy, through Ramadevi. He glance at Ramadevi. Ramadevi takes the Lord's glance and give it to Durga. So Ramadevi giving to Durga is a secondary activity. So through Ramadevi, he accepts that. Through Ramadevi, he accepts the three modes. Through Ramadevi and Ramadevi through Durga Devi, he accepts the three modes. So Lord accept the three modes through Durga means by a medium of internal energy. That is not mentioned here. That is mentioned in Brahma Samhita verse 7 and 8. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So just by this sloka, we cannot understand properly. We have to integrate a lot of slokas and
See how it is not thus by. There are one sentence sometimes speaking, like for if sometimes Prabhupada says, Lord glance at material energy, right?
yes.
But we say material energy, but he does not contact material energy. How he glance? So there are other details within that he glanced through via medium of Lakshmi.
Okay.
Now, is it okay, bro?
Yes, Ru. Thank you.
Because see, there is goodness, passion, and ignorance here. Okay. So when you reverse this goodness, passion, ignorance in spiritual world, what they become? Anybody has any guess?
Satchidan.
No. In the spiritual world, it becomes Sandhini Samvit Allah.
Yeah.
When we reverse it, so your existence is ignorance, their existence is Sandhini. Your passion, their Samvit. Your goodness, their Alladini. Okay. Now this, see, Supreme Lord has one Shakti called Parashakti. It is divided into three: Chit Jagat, Jada Jagat, Jiva Jagat. Chit Jagat means spiritual world, Jada Jagat means material world, and Jiva Jagat means living entity. But within Parashakti, there is influential potential. Influential means Sandhini Samvit Alladi. What is this Sandhini? Sandhini is existential potency. Samvit is knowledge potency. And Alladini is pleasure potency. So Sandhini Alladini is applied to the Chit Shakti, spiritual world. It is in fact, it is inside is manifested in spiritual world. So all the existence of spiritual world is due to Sandhini Shakti. Okay. Then Samvit Shakti, because the knowledge between in the spiritual world between Gopa, Gopis, Krishna, and all that knowledge is because of Samvit potency. And the pleasure they get there in the spiritual world is due to fully manifesting Alladini potency. Okay. Now these potencies are there in the Jiva, but in a minute form because Jiva is minute. So Jiva's existence as spirit soul is due to Sandhini potency. This potencies makes this Jiva's existence. The Jiva's knowledge as I am not this body, I am a soul, Brahman, I am Brahman. So that is because of Samvit potency. And Jiva is experiencing the Brahman platform or the platform on the soul. That is because of Alladini in the minute potency. So Sandhini, Samvit, Alladini, three potency are minute in the Jiva. Okay. Now the same then same three potencies are reflected in material energy. Now reflection and perverted reflection. What is the difference? Okay. If I am touching Prashant Gunjegaonkar, what is his name? Pandurang Sharan Prabhu's feet. And there is a mirror here. So in the mirror, who is touching whose feet?
Mirror, same thing.
Same thing. So similarly, when we keep Krishna in the center here, the same material world becomes the exact reflection of spiritual world. Okay. But when you remove Krishna and we become the center, then it becomes perverted reflection. Understood? Reflection and perverted reflection. So when these Sandhini, Samvit, Alladini reflected here, how? So when you take example of a gulab jam, you offer to Krishna, then you take it. Then the existence of gulab jam becomes Sandhini. The knowledge gulab jam as a prasad, Krishna's mercy or Krishna's pardon or Krishna's prasadam are non-different from Krishna. That is Samvit potency. And the gulab jam prasad when you eat, the experience of spiritual happiness is Alladini potency is reflected. Okay. Now you take a gulab jam from the shop, don't offer it. Okay. Then the same gulab jam's existence will be ignorance. The gulab jam's knowledge as a gulab jam will be passion. And the gulab jam's sweetness will be mode of goodness. That is perverted reflected. Now you understand how these potencies are at work. You want references? That there is reference. Example is not of gulab jamun, but how these potencies are working. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 4, and Krishna Samhita by Bhakti Thakur. Go and check. It's all there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
Makes sense, these potencies. So therefore, when Mahavishnu will always deal with internal energy, but through internal energy, he will glance at Durga. That is indirect. So he accepts three modes through Durga. Now understood?
Okay. Guruji, goodness, what is accepted by Vishnu, that Vishnu touches goodness directly or how? In the material world, maintenance, creation, and destruction.
So read Lagu Bhagavatamrit and which one? Jiva Goswami's Paramatma Sandarbha, that Vishnu accepting the goodness. Okay. So he's already in pure goodness. Though he's in pure goodness, for him, Vishnu is already in pure goodness. But this goodness, passion, ignorance is for the living entity's perspective, right? But Vishnu is always in the goodness. But though he's in pure goodness, he controls the goodness. He's not affected by the goodness mode. But for him, it is pure goodness. He's already existing there. But here the modes have to be dealt with in these modes. So therefore, the mode of goodness he handles. But he himself is in pure goodness.
So directly handles or again indirectly?
No, there he directly handles. But that's what I'm saying. You didn't got this point. For Vishnu, it is not goodness. So Vishnu, it will be the three spiritual potencies. No.
Yes.
But for us, it will be the three modes because we see it separate from the Lord.
Yes.
Okay, so therefore, Rupa Goswami write, though Vishnu is in pure goodness, though he is handling the goodness is not affected because for Vishnu it is not goodness, it is his own potencies.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
for us it is that because we see it in that way.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, so you write it down now. I'll explain to you creation maybe next class, but I'll give you brief. Then I'll start with the PPT. See, there are 10 types of creation. Okay, 6 by Mahavishnu and 4 by Brahmaji. Okay, so if you want, so Brahmaji will not do it, is there in third, fourth canto anyway. So first 6 done by Mahavishnu, right? So more want to know about this 6 type of creation. Canto 3, there is a chapter called divisions of creation. You can go through it. So there it is explained first creation, second creation, third creation, fourth creation. If I want, I'll show. One minute. Try the people want reference. Otherwise, you will make the teacher run helter and skelter. See here. Okay. So there are 10 types of creation mentioned here. Divisions of creation. It is there. See, there are 9 different kinds. Okay. So out of this, there are 3 kinds of annihilation. Annihilation I explained. And then you can see first creation, Mahatat. From here you start. Second creation, falsity. Okay. So I'll tell you, write it down. 6 type of creation by Mahavishnu. First, Mahatattva. You write it down, then I'll teach you in detail. Did not detail, but whatever in relation to the verses. First creation is Mahatattva. Second is false ego. Third is false ego in goodness. Fourth is false ego in passion. Fifth is false ego in ignorance. Okay. Actually, it is like this: Mahatattva, false ego in ignorance, false ego in passion, and false ego in goodness. There's 5. And all this put into darkness, that is 6 type of creation, darkness of ignorance. Is it clear now? So you can refer for this. You'll get this. Is it clear? So 6 type of creation. So in the
Guruji, Mahat Tattva, then false ego in 3 modes.
false ego in ignorance, false ego in passion, and false ego in goodness.
Okay, that is 6. Oh,
Uh-huh.
5. 6th one is what, Guru?
6th one is darkness of ignorance. He put all these 5 creation into darkness of ignorance. Okay, so when
Real ignorance, the Linga
this
Sharira.
ignorance is the complete whole, means complete Mahatattva, like all the many universe, they are put into complete ignorance.
Okay.
Okay. And Mahavishnu, there are 10 types of creation, I said. So Prabhupada in the purport, one of the third canto purport, he categorized this 10 creation into 3. Like there are many energies of the Lord, but we categorize into 3. So like there are 10 types of creation, but categorized into 3. What is that? Mahakalp, Vikalp, and Kalp. Mahakalp is creation by Mahavishnu. Vikalp is creation by Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And Kalpa means creation by Brahma. Mahakalpa and Vikalpa are primary creation. And Kalpa is secondary creation. There are 2 types of Sarga and one is Visarga. Is it clear now?
Yeah, I'm noting the information, details you can.
Details I'll show you. Okay. So this and Mahavishnu, how many of you know wholesale market? Wholesale market. So Mahavishnu does creation for the wholesale, and after that, all those creation he does this creation, and then all this creation are taken by Garbhodaksha Vishnu into different universes. Okay, like different shops. So I'll show you. Okay, this is there. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so this is Brahmaji is coming and Narada is asking this question. So there is a complete spiritual world. There is total spiritual world. Out of you take 100. The lotus is complete spiritual world is 3/4. And Mahavishnu lying with Pradhan. You see the blue color? If you read Brihad Bhagavatamrit, Pradhan's color is a dark blue. So therefore I gave this effect. So Mahavishnu lies with Pradhan. Pradhan is an energy state. Okay, it's a 1/4 of complete 100. So Prabhupada writes in one of the purports that complete spiritual world is there, and the corner of the spiritual world, Mahavishnu lies and create the lies with Pradhan. Okay, so like in the house, in the corner we have a dustbin. So 1/4, so 3/4 and 1/4. Reference Padma Purana or Purusha Sukta. Om Tripadurda Vadai Purusha Pado Sabhavat Punah. So Tripadurda Vadai Purusha Tripad Vibhuti means 3/4. And one pad Vibhuti Pado living entity. Living entities are there. Okay, this is Padma Purana. So Mahavishnu lies with Pradhan. So this is the definition of what do you say? Theism. You know what is the definition of theism? Raise your hand. Theism. Yes, Prabhu.
Theism means who believe in Vedas.
Who believing in?
Vedas.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody wants to try? No?
Who believe in God? God.
Theism means, according to HarperCollins Dictionary of Philosophy, theism means God is partly in the spiritual world, God is partly here. In the sense, God has transcendence as Bhagavan in the spiritual world, God has immanence as Brahman and Paramatma in the material world. Together it is called theism. I can show you. This is the definition of theism. So this is, they got it. I don't know where they got, but in Purusha Sukta, this definition is there. So God is everywhere. It's partly there, partly here. That is the definition. Okay. If you want, I'll show you also from the dictionary. You want? Okay, I'll show you. Otherwise, if people will say, "Ki Prabhuji speaks," don't give reference. 1 minute. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. 1 minute. One minute. Okay, then I'll explain what is theism. See this. Can somebody read this? Read.
Theism. According to the HarperCollins Dictionary of Philosophy, p. 120, the philosophy of theism, quote, in most interpretations, unquote, is God is partly immanent in the universe and partly transcendent. In essence, this definition is the Vedic philosophy of the Supreme Person, as stated in Purusha Sukta, Rigved 1094. With 3/4 of himself, the Purusha ascended the fourth. The other fourth was born here. From here, on all sides, he moved towards the living and the non-living, again and again. You can have to remove that.
What?
Bar is. Word ka bar hai, Bhuji.
Okay.
Yes. Again and again in the Vedic literatures, we find references to Tripad Vibhuti and Ekpad Vibhuti, the 3/4 of the Lord's splendor displayed as the spiritual world, and the 1/4 by which he pervades the material world. About the material manifestation, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita.
No, it's okay. But okay, got this? Theism? Okay.
Yes, bro.
Okay, so these things I gave you definition also. Oh, I want to show you. So we'll go further. So Mahavishnu lies in the Pradhan. Okay. Then, so this Prabhupada writes sometimes like a cloud. Okay, it's there in the purports, it will come in the second canto. Like a cloud, but it's not literally a cloud. Cloud means what? It is having a separate existence then just within the Brahma Jyoti only, or within the spiritual world, in the corner, it has a separate existence. Okay, like this. So I just showed a cloud to give an effect, but it's not literally a cloud. And from his body, like this, many universes comes and they are manifested within the Mahatat. Okay.
Yes.
So see how it- now creation by Mahavishnu is Mahakalpa. So what Mahavishnu does? 6 type of creation plus many universes comes from this body. This 3 slide will be a summary. Okay. So many. I am showing just one, but the universe come at once. But I am showing one after another because of the technical. It will not have a good effect. So like this, many universe comes. So then in each universe, he expand as Garbhodakshay Vishnu and goes. And creation by Garbhodakshay Vishnu is called Vikalp. So what Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he comes in the universe, he manifests from his perspiration, Garbhodak ocean, okay, and he creates the creative principle in his body that is called Hiranyagarbha. Okay, you just see this. He creates the creative principle in his body that is called Hiranyagarbha, and he created the lotus. That's creation is by Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Okay. That's called Vikalp. And then when Brahmaji created the universe within the lotus. See this. So that's creation by Brahmaji is called Kalpa. Okay, got this? So there are these 3 types of creation. Mahakalpa, Vikalpa and Kalpa. Okay. Now we'll see. Okay. So what's the time now? 5 minutes. Anybody has any question? Exactly, then I'll close 2 o'clock. So tomorrow I'll teach you the whole creation like this. Okay. Mahavishnu lying with Rama in the causal ocean and all this.
Yes.
So, anybody has any question?
No, this only Prabhuji we have to understand properly. Creation.
No, but
I can explain.
this is not, see, this is Bhakti Vaibhav. Okay. If I take only creation, it is so vast. Only I just took creation, it took 12 sessions for me. So I'm going to teach the summary, whatever, not in so much detail, whatever in relation to the verses given in the second canto, chapter 5. Okay.
Yes.
5 and 6. But almost you'll get because everything is detailed.
In summary only, Guruji. Short.
Because yeah, whatever, because I have to finish now within 5 days.
Yes,
5,
sir.
7 and 8. I don't know, 8 also. 8 is
7.
5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 8 I don't know, but 5, 6.
Yes, Guruji.
There now. So at least if you have time, read Brahma Samhita verse 7, 8 and come. Okay.
Okay.
7, 8 if you have time. So anybody has any question? We have 5 minutes.
So 7, 8 and which explanation for that? Matlab, Brahma Samhita 7, 8 verse.
7, 8 will teach you about these slides. Like Mahavishnu glance at Rama. Rama takes the glance. Rama understand the Lord desires. She manifests a shadow as Durga. So then Rama takes the glance and give it to Durga, and that glance is Shambho. So you'll find in 7, 8, 9, 10, all those things. Okay? Clear
Yes.
now?
Yes, Guruji.
So if you want, I'll show you one. We have 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I'll just show you. I will not read it. Next class, I'll read it. See, for everything, I'm giving you reference. Huh? Don't catch me then.
No, I am not asking reference.
No. Array, I'm just showing. Whatever is this, I'm showing. So no worries. So because I taught this 4 times creation and Brahma Samhita 3 times. So sorry. I know that. See this. Mahavishnu, I'll make you read. This is 7th verse.
7th. Shall I read?
Wait, I'm just see this. See, Krishna never, I'll just because 2 minutes I'll read and then I explain. Krishna never consults with his illusory energy. So that doesn't mean that she is not connected to her. No. Still her connection is not entirely cut off from the absolute truth or Krishna. When he, Krishna, intends to create the material world, the amorous pastime in which he engages. So who he? Krishna, when he creates, he engages in the form of Mahavishnu by consulting with his own spiritual chit potency, Rama. So chit here referred to Rama. Okay. by casting his glance. So how he is interacting with Rama? By casting his glance at the deluding energy. But how is that casting his glance? Because he's performing pastime with Rama. But then how is casting his glance to the deluding energy? He's casting his glance to the deluding energy in the shape of sending his time energy. What is an auxiliary activity? Auxiliary means supporting or secondary activity. Means glancing at Durga is a supportive activity, not direct activity or secondary activity. Understood now? Now next, if you read the purport, we'll get all this. Now second, the secondary process of with association with Maya is described. So Lord's association with Maya is secondary through Ramadev. Understood now? So these
Yes.
all there are there. So these are all references. Okay.
Yes, bro.
Okay. So anyway, so 2 minutes is there. Anybody has any question regarding what we have done?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
This question is not directly in that sense, but like 3 path vibhuti and 1 path vibhuti is there of the Lord. So in one of the verses, again, second chance Prabhupada says that 75% jivas are there and 25% jivas are here. And one of the lecture he was says that almost 90% jivas are there. So like I guess he was doing on the basis of the percentage of the vibhutis. So what's your comment upon that?
See, comment means I heard about 75%, 25%. First time I'm hearing about 95%.
90%.
90%.
Anji.
So there is, I don't know, but I never heard about this. First time I'm hearing, so no idea. But I never came across. First time I'm hearing from your mouth. The proper says, I heard 75%, 25%. But you can show me the reference. I'll see in what way Prabhupada is saying.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll share with you.
Means I'm not doubting you, but I never came across. Which book it is?
Prabhuji, he's talking to a scientist and where they're discussing about Jiva thing and Prabhupada is telling about, he's talking to some scientist. I'll try to find and share it with you.
Yes, I know.
He particularly asked this question. So how many jivas are there? So he said 90% is there. But in one of the second chance, I guess in the lecture, he said 75% here, 25% there. Maybe. So I was thinking some.
25, 75 and 25 makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So 90% in what relation Prabhupada is writing? I have to check. I don't know. But sometimes Prabhupada only once he has written 4,32,000. Every time he has written 4,30,000 Kali Yuga, 4,30,000, heard? It's hardly he wrote like this. So sometimes Prabhupada gives approximation. In mathematics, it is called approximation. The writes approximation. So Prabhupada, I'll just see in what way I'm hearing for the first time. So it might be some reason. But generally, as far as verses from Padma Puran and Jiva Goswami knows, 3/4 year, 1/4 year. And out of 100%, 3/4 means 75% there and 25% here, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So about 90, I'll check. I don't know.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Anything else?
He's asking about Jiva percentage, not creation. 25 here and that 3/4, 1/4 is understood about creation. Prabhuji, I think he's asking about Jiva.
I know he's asking about Jiva, but 75% is in the spiritual world. So naturally compared to, 3/4 is the spiritual world. So 3/4 compared to 100%. So there is 75% Jiva will be there, no? Right?
Jiva's reference is also there. 3/4 like material world का तो reference है. तो Jiva's 70% there and 25 वो भी reference है क्या?
आए ना, वो तो उसी ने तो बताया.
मतलब वो ब्रह्म संहिता में अभी अभी आपने जो दिखाया 3/4 and that reference is, but directly related to Jiva, is there any?
He only spoke just now. I didn't spoke. I heard about that. He only spoke just.
Second chance Prabhupada has told. I have written second chance book.
Second, I said I also gone through once. So he said no, 75%, 25%. That is there, no. But he's asking there is sometimes Prabhupada write 90% also. So I said I never came across. I'll see. I don't know. Why should I see? I don't know. I say I don't know. Why I don't speculate. I heard about this thing, so I said yes, sir. Okay. Anything else? So, okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, thank you. Haribol.
Guruji, yeah, wanted to ask, you are comfortable to take the 8th chapter also? Or
Yeah. I have unique. No, you are the Rukmini Vallabh Prabhu. No, I told.
developer only had told me to finalize that. So just asking you, if you are not comfortable, then we'll
5, 6, 7, 8 within 5 days, right?
correct, Guruji. If you are not comfortable, it's fine, Guruji. We can then have
Let's see. He told me I'll finish up to 5, 6, 7. If time permits, I'll take 8 also. Okay.
okay, fine, Guruji.
Because now, see, if I'll show you this creation and all, then it will be like electric shock to all of you. Naturally, you will ask more question. Then the time will go, and you know what happened? Because you never know all this. There are many big insights to the creation. See, there are so many slides like this. See, so you'll ask that, and the time will go naturally. Okay. And if you ask reference, more time will go because for everything there is references. Okay. And then what will happen? Then time will go, then I'm not able to finish. Okay, like this. You'll ask me what is this going to be. See this? Can you see?
Yes, Guruji.
हाँ तो आप लोग पूछेंगे ना ये सब क्या है तो इसके लिए टाइम तो जाएगा ना प्रभु तो he told me that they should able to understand. I said I'll try my best to make them understand whatever because these things are very new to all of you. It's new to everyone. They have never read, they have never came across, right?
Yes, Guruji.
So do you know there are many Brahmas in this universe? There are many Shivas. So it's very mind-boggling like this. So then you will say, "Arey, never heard all these things." So you will want more. Then we'll finish up to 6th chapter only. ऐसा हो जाएगा. Because for creation, whatever my slides are there. If you start asking me reference, I'll keep on showing. I have because I taught creation with line by line with verses. You know, from Brahma Samhita, Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Canto 3. But here I have to stick to Bhakti Vaibhav verses like this. So depend upon time. So he told me that whatever you can finish, you finish. So I'll try to finish 5, 6, and 7 as time permits. Okay. But if you all want me to take 8, then I'll go fast.
No, Guruji, you can go according. Perfectly.
So I have no problem because see, 5 days I have to.
Because you said that time, that's why I was confused.
No,
I have to
you
go.
gave me 5 days. So 5 days because I'm going slow. That Prabhuji told me that they should get at least almost idea of what is creation. So then I have to explain. No, Karanavadakshay Vishnu. What? Then I'll show you. But this reference is given here. This reference is given here. This reference is given in 2nd canto. Right? So time go. But if you don't want reference, if you just want from the PPT, I'll show you the PPT. I'll just keep on explaining. Okay. As per my explanation, the references are there. From the Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj purports, Jiva Goswami's commentary. Okay. So it takes time, no, bro. Like one thing I have to read slowly. If I go fast, you will say, Prabhuji, you are not able to understand. So going slow just by reading, it takes a lot of time, no, bro. Now see, for explaining these things, it went 10 to 12 minutes. This showing reference. Right.
It's perfectly fine, Guruji.
I have no problem. Whatever you say, I'll do. This is public. What is it? Democracy.
No, Guruji.
I don't run.
Please go.
If you say finish 8 chapters, I have no problem. Within 5 days, what I do, I'll calculate the verses, divide into 5, and I'll finish.
No, Guruji, please go. So according to we can understand.
Let's say whatever we can finish, we finish, right? And I'll show. And trust me, all of you, whatever I speak, I have references for this. I'm speaking creation, whatever, there are a lot more references. I'm not lying. I can show, but then you wait for that. Wait for that. I have to remove those references. Okay. If I don't have references, sometimes I say it is extended definition. It is extended definition. Or we joins the point and we make our conclusion. Okay. So at least learn Brahma Samhita verse 7 to 10 or 12, 13, 14 come. At least till 14 you learn. Just read the translation. Read it. I'm not telling you to memorize it. Read it. At least some idea will be there. Till verse 14. Okay. 14, 14, 15, 16. Till 15 or 16 will be. And come tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. If you can read the purport, you can understand that way of English, fine. But you read the translation. Okay. And you remember Mahavishnu does 6 type of creation, then I'll show it in the PPT. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Jai ho.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So other devotees, I wanted to ask this thing. So basically 8th chapter, His Grace Samarpan Gopru will be taking. So for that, we need to fix him and time. So one option is that on the last day, that is Friday, when this session gets over, after that we can do. Because Prabhuji is here, will be here. So devotees are okay?
क्या मतलब फ्राइडे सेशन के बाद?
Means like ये session 2 बजे खत्म होगा, तो in the evening 5 to, he need 2.5 hours he needs. So 5 to 7, something like that, we can finish then. Devotees are okay that way, or some other option we'll see then. If, okay?
नहीं मेरा नहीं है कुछ.
Okay. बाकी devotees, okay.
मतलब एक दिन में 3 घंटा और 5 घंटा हो जाएंगे ना, शाम का भी 2-2.5 घंटा 3 घंटा चले जाएगा ना,
करेक्ट. शाम को थोड़ा जाना होगा.
क्योंकि वो एक चैप्टर पूरा खत्म करेंगे ना वो.
हाँ, यस.
तो 3 घंटा तो लग ही जाएगा 8 चैप्टर पूरा.
2 to 2.5 he said. What about other devotees?
सैटरडे नहीं रह सकते?
हाँ,
सैटरडे?
सैटरडे.
हाँ.
एक्चुअली सैटरडे को डिवोटीज का इशू हो जाता है, जो लोग प्रीचिंग वगैरह में है ना, सेंटर्स वगैरह, उनका वीकेंड्स आर टाइट.
मॉर्निंग आवर दे कैन कम एटलीस्ट फॉर वन डे. सैटरडे नहीं, प्रोग्राम से इवनिंग में रहता है ना, पता नहीं.
यात्रा मंडे को यात्रा जा रहे हैं सब, इसलिए. सो ओनली दिस फ्राइडे इफ यू डू लाइक दैट. व्हाट अबाउट अदर डिवोटीज? नरहरि प्रभु, मुरलीधर मुकुंद प्रभु, प्रियवत नारद प्रभु.
हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु.
फ्राइडे के लिए नहीं हो पाएगा. इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज आई एम हैव प्रोग्राम फ्राइडे.
प्रभु मैं हरे कृष्णा.
हाँ, यस यस.
प्रभु मैं बोल रहा था, जैसे वैसे भी क्लास ऑनलाइन ही चल रहा है, तो devotees can attend from their center also and come for Saturday to center for Samarkand group class.
ऑनलाइन आपके लिए प्रभु, हम लोगों के लिए फिजिकली करना है, जो यहाँ पे पुणे में है, तो हमके लिए ये ऑफलाइन का ऑप्शन नहीं है. एनीवेज, अगर डिवोटीज को कुछ डिवोटीज को कंसर्न है, तो फिर मैं वन मोर ऑप्शन इज दैट वी कैन डू इट ऑन मंडे को. ठीक है, आई विल डिस्कस एंड लेट यू नो टुमारो. आई विल अगेन
एग्जाम तो यात्रा के बाद ही होगा ना?
हाँ, एग्जाम.
नहीं प्रभु, हरे कृष्णा. प्रभु मैं ये पूछ रहा था,
यात्रा के बाद ही रख दीजिए, फिर एक चैप्टर खत्म करके फिर एग्जाम.
हो गया.
प्रभु मैं ये पूछ रहा था, जैसे वैसे भी क्लास ऑनलाइन ही चल रहा है, तो ये सेंटर से ऑनलाइन नहीं कर सकते क्या? मतलब बीबीआर में बैठ के ही करना है ऑनलाइन?
नहीं, बीबीआरपी ने
आप लोग भी तो स्क्रीन में ही देख रहे हो.
अभी मैं भाग भाग के आया वो सेंटर से, रास्ते में गिरने वाला था. गाड़ी पे ये
रूम में भी तो कर सकते हैं ऑनलाइन क्लास.
वो नहीं अलाउड है. जो पुणे में है उनको फिजिकली करना है पर्सनली. अगर ऑनलाइन करना है तो परमिशन लेना है.
तो जी मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि एटलीस्ट रिलेशन वाला पार्ट बहुत ऊपर हो जाएगा, धीरे से लेते हैं. और नहीं तो फिर वो 8 चैप्टर को मैं बोल रहा हूँ यात्रा के बाद रख दीजिए, फिर 1-2 दिन के बाद एग्जाम रख दीजिए.
एक्चुअली यात्रा के बाद एक ही चीज है कि महाराज की यात्रा डिवोटी आते आते 10 तारीख होने वाला है, 9 तारीख होने वाला है, और फिर आप लोग जाएंगे 10 तारीख को. परम पूज्य गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज का भी ये है ना, तो उसमें फिर आप और आई थिंक कृष्ण कीर्तन प्रभु और कृपा सिंधु प्रसाद नहीं रहेंगे. जा रहे हैं आप लोग?
हाँ हो जा रहे हैं.
तो 16 तारीख तक फिर नहीं रहेंगे, फिर मैराथन स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. दैट इज द इशू आफ्टर इट.
फिर एग्जाम कब रखेंगे?
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि हमारा नवंबर दिसंबर में कोई है भक्ति सेशन?
हाँ वो भी एक क्वेश्चन.
नहीं है तो फिर हम यात्रा के बाद जब ये लोग भी आ जाएंगे 2 घंटे तो जूम में हम किसी एक दिन डिसाइड
हाँ,
करके निकाल
yes.
सकते हैं,
Yes.
अगर उनका कंसर्न है। या तो हम सैटरडे मॉर्निंग भी कर सकते हैं, अगर सैटरडे के लिए और लोग, अगर वी कैन टेक आउट, हम एक एक दिन सैटरडे के लिए एक्सटेंड कर सकते हैं। बट
हाँ,
बेटर ये है कि सैटरडे कुछ लोगों को प्रॉब्लम होगी, फ्राइडे कुछ लोगों को हैवी लग रहा है, उनकी सेवा इवनिंग में है, तो वो 2 घंटे जो है हम 2 महीने में कभी भी एक टाइम निकाल के एक दिन डिसाइड करके कि हम सब 2 घंटे ऑनलाइन सुन के 3 घंटे उसको हम कर सकते हैं। तो सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सब खुश रहेंगे। ऐसा करके जब सब यात्रा से आ जाए, सारी यात्राएं हो जाए, मैराथन स्टार्ट होने वाला हो या गए भी हो, तो डिसाइड करके कि एक दिन हम सब बैठ के सुनेंगे जूम पे ऑनलाइन, उसको फिजिकल नहीं करेंगे। और अगर सैटरडे मॉर्निंग करना है फिर, लेकिन जो वॉइस पिक्चर्स है फिर वो फंसेंगे, तो देख सकते हैं। नहीं तो फिर फ्राइडे को हेक्टिक लग रहा है, तो मतलब 2 महीने का आराम है।
नहीं तो आप लोगों को अगर लग रहा है तो खुद से ही पढ़ाई कर सकते हो आप लोग। और फिर मतलब बट क्योंकि क्लास किया और डिवोटीज नहीं आएंगे तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। हम बुक कर रहे हैं, वो डिवोटी प्रिपेयर करके आएंगे पूरा अच्छे से डिटेल में। प्रभु जी समय प्रभु को बहुत डीपली प्रिपेयर करते हैं, आप जानते हैं। तो इसलिए कंफर्मेशन चाहिए कि आप लोग रहेंगे कि नहीं, उसके हिसाब से मैं उनको बोलूँगा वो टाइम ऑन डेट। ठीक है, अभी थोड़ा मिक्स जो भी ओपिनियन है ड्यूटीज का। हाँ ना, कुछ बोल रहे हैं आप नरहरि प्रभु?
हाँ प्रभु जी, क्लास होना जरूरी है, क्योंकि वो वैसे तो समझ में पढ़ के समझ में आने वाला नहीं,
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
क्योंकि क्रिएशन का पार्ट। तो अगर क्लास होगा, अगर सब जब जब भी अवेलेबल हो, आप थोड़ा डिसाइड कर लीजिए। तो मैं 24th को जा रहा हूँ आफ्टरनून में वृंदावन, और मैं आ जाऊंगा 29th को वापस आ जाऊंगा। तो जब भी ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है ऑप्शन तो मैं ज्वाइन जरूर करूंगा। तो आप थोड़ा डिसाइड कर लीजिए इस हिसाब से क्या है।
ठीक है प्रभु, मैं समझ गया। मैं एक बार इसके ऊपर सब कॉमन वाला देखता हूँ, कुछ रहा तो कल फिर से क्लियर बैक।
चीज़ और भी कर सकते
हाँ
हैं कि
ठीक
इस जो क्लास होगी ये 3 घंटे की, 2.5 घंटे की, इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग अवेलेबल करा सकते हैं इन केस कोई नहीं सुन पाता, जैसे मैं नहीं सुन पाया। सो एंड आई कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि समर्थ का प्रभु हमारे पुणे के ही डिवोटी हैं, सो वी कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन लेटर व्हेनेवर यू मीट। ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं।
चलेगा, थैंक यू ब्रूस। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।
है।